bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy, wait for it, Friday, everybody. Your bell.
Even the bell went into it. It's like, yeah.
Happy Friday, everybody.
I mean, yeah. Yay, it's Friday.
It's tired.
Dude, it's, okay. It's been a long week.
Uh-huh.
Today is going to be the longest of the days of the week. And I don't even get a weekend. Because I get to jump in a car and drive all day tomorrow.
That's true. You got to get out of town here.
So it's just like, yeah, there's no break here. It's like, ugh, I'm just,
Well,
yeah.
at least you get to see family and stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Get on the road. Open road.
Yeah. No, it should be okay. It'll be fine. Me and Rhiannon are going to take a little road trip this weekend.
Daddy-daughter road time. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I mean, I'm
You'll
sure
enjoy it.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Once I get there, I'll have a few family members to kind of help with stuff, but just hand the kid over and be like, I'm going to go take a nap. But yeah.
I'll let her drive. She'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. At least through Texas. It's fine.
Well, happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to it. The final weekend of the fair here. Got today, tomorrow.
Yep.
Bevy of stuff happening. Big concerts out there tonight.
Yep, starting 6 p.m., the concert is going to be happening at the main stage right there to the south of the main entrance. Starts at 6 p.m. Sherry Rowe, Dirty River Boys, Jody Nix, and Sundance Head.
See. Yeah. Of course, we got football tonight as
Yes,
well. Coyotes will be right here as they travel to Dumas, Texas. That is a radio-only broadcast.
Right.
It will not be available to video because we're in Texas and we don't have the ability. They don't have the space for us to do that kind of thing. And same thing when we went to Goddard, when Goddard went to Dumas.
Yeah.
Or Texas a couple weeks ago. Same kind of deal. But we will have it for you here on the radio. Art and Kelly are going to be traveling to Dumas today, and we'll have that for you right here on 106.5. Got it, Rockets. They're in, was it Mayfield they're playing? Or,
Yeah, Mayfield.
I know they're going to Cruces. That game we will have for you video and audio on our sister station 106.1 FM Fiero for the radio broadcast.
Right.
Video broadcast at ksvptv.com. And Bulldogs are off tonight.
No RTG game today, but I will also be out broadcasting live 5 to 7 p.m. Tonight at the Eastern Mexico State Fair.
Come on out, Sean. See Sean. If you want to see me tomorrow night, I'll be out at the fair in the American Legion Post 61 booth.
Nice.
Tomorrow night, hanging out. So you'll see me in my hat and
There you
everything hanging out. So if you want to stop by and say hi, give me a stack of cash. That'd be great. Give me like $1 million. And then I'll just, well, you know what? That might not be a good idea because then they want me to be out there all the time.
Yeah, because you're the main draw. We're like, well, we got to get Mike back in here. Look at the money he brings in.
Yeah, I know. We don't want that.
Next thing you know, you're head of another committee.
Actually, say it's because of my wife. Because she'll be there too. It's like I saw Mike's wife, and because that I gave $1 million. So
there you go.
Then they make her come out.
There you go.
She's gonna be yelling at the radio. Hey, wait, Mike!
Hey, what happened?
Last night's volleyball game was pretty hype.
Yeah?
It went 5 sets. It was Roswell versus Goddard.
Nice.
More people should watch volleyball.
We can go back and check out the game, right? It's on demand there.
KSVPTV.com. By the way, while he's in the room, I want to give some props to young Roy here for putting together. I watched I haven't watched all of them. I watched the commercial building one and the livestock one, but he put together the Sean shorts from the fair. Did a really, really good job on the.
I've only seen one so far. I saw the livestock one. I haven't seen the other ones yet.
The commercial building one is up, and you said the one from the Midway is up, correct?
It should be up today.
Okay, awesome.
Right.
Nice.
So,
Tanner helped with that too.
You go to any of our Facebook pages, right? It's on all four. If you our 106.5 or our the brand Facebook page, 929 the brand Facebook page, you'll find Sean's shorts.
Look for my shorts. Enjoy my shorts, everyone.
Some are cargo. Some are the more fashionable non-cargo.
Can I eat them though?
I would not recommend it. Not recommend that. I actually prefer a nice Daisy Duke in the summer. You know,
Well, if you eat them at the fair, the calories don't count.
that's
the
true.
rule.
That is true. Negative calories. You know, and you're not that far off because as much walking as you're going to do at the fair, you're going to burn a good half of those cowboy fries off. Well,
Exactly.
like a quarter of them.
So load up early, and then burn it off as you peruse around the fairground.
And that's another thing. I defy anyone, a group of people even, to finish an entire order of cowboy/curly fries. I have never seen it done.
That's
Not
a sharing
one time.
type food.
It's a
isn't
totally sharing food.
Yeah.
But even when you share it, there's still about that much fry you're just throwing away at the end.
it? All right.
I've never seen a group of people finish an entire order of curly fries.
Might have to try to do that this Saturday.
Good luck.
I'll be sitting in the booth there for a few hours.
You are going to be bloated. It's going to be a interesting afternoon for yours.
We'll try. Challenge accepted. No, we'll see. I might do that tomorrow. See what happens.
Lee just has to give you a lift back to your car.
Beefcake.
I'm just picturing you riding officer in a gentleman style.
That's too good. Oh, man. Before we do anything else, I do need to thank the fine folks at McDonald's because it is Friday.
Yes.
And they hooked us up once again with delicious breakfast treats for our Friday, as they do every Friday. So if you were hungry, visit McDonald's. They got you covered. Of course, we got the two operating right now, South Main coming soon. They are hiring for all three McDonald's locations.
Yes, sir.
Probably even in Artesian Carlsbad as well, too, for folks down there. Go to www.mchire.com.
Before you put you actually want to put http://. That's important.
He gets annoyed when I say
www.
He gets annoyed
Period.
when I do that.
mchire.com.
That's right. It annoys him when I do that, but it annoys me when he leaves the caps lock on and all this.
Maybe I meant it that way. You heard how I do my spots. It's all hard
That
sell.
infuriates. I start typing in the caps lock. Caps lock.
Yeah, the problem is I forget which systems I leave it on in.
All of them.
Right.
So it's tomato.
You know what I blame that on? When you go into the other systems, and this is real inside baseball. When you go into the other systems and you push cap lock, the light on your keyboard doesn't go on.
I know, you don't know. It's stealth phantom cap lock.
It is. So I can't keep track of which one's a caps lock and which one's a don't.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
Fair enough. How about the way you dot between everything, huh? Ellipses boy.
I guess I should do the rundown.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
haven't done that yet. But the big thank you to McDonald's. mchire.com is the website for employment opportunities with McDonald's. And get you any of their food, man.
Yeah.
I had me, what did I have the other day? I was just like, man, it's been a while since I had one of these. Oh, it was the OG Big Mac.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, man, I had one.
I just recently found out about something called a McTin35.
Tell me again what that is.
So what it is you order an Egg McMuffin off the
Yeah.
breakfast menu, and you order a McDouble off the lunch menu. You just combine the two. You slap the McMuffin ingredients inside of your McDouble.
So do you have to order this meal at like 10:32?
Yeah, the idea is you go in at breakfast time, so before 10:30 you order your McMuffin, and then you wait until after breakfast
I
starts,
gotcha.
and then you order your McDouble and
Nice.
put them together.
A true McDonald's brunch
That's
fare.
right.
I like that. That's not a bad
It's a real
idea.
hack. And see if you can, just like sneak in a little mini bottle of champagne, order yourself an orange juice, make yourself a mimosa. It's nice.
Mimosa.
They got those mini bottles of champagne. You can just slip one in the pocket.
You sit with your pinky up.
It's fancy.
Well, cool. I might actually try that one day.
What's going on with Bill over there in the corner? He's sitting there and eating his McDonald's with his pinky up. He's a fancy guy. He just likes things fancy.
Now I want to do something with hash browns and French fries. Same kind of deal. I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. But if we're going to be doing this, I might as well get an order of each and see if I can do something with it.
So what you do, okay, we got to figure out a way to coat the French fries in hash browns and then refry them.
Oh.
See, what we're doing here is we're adding an extra. It's kind of like what some of the other places are doing with the added batter coating on their fries to keep them crispy for longer. This way, in this case, we're battering them with more potatoes.
I don't know, but the problem is, when it comes to McDonald's fries, you're kind of messing with perfection.
You really are.
So I don't know. It's a slippery slope when most travel and they do that. So enter at your own risk when it comes to messing with the fries. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. I haven't done that yet. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Kay Galindo with the Roswell Refuge joined us on Wednesday. Gives an update on what's going on there. Of course, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. They're working on trying to get with the COVID world. It's hard to plan activities and events. So they're working on some, I guess you could say, virtual events planned. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's just going on over there. So good interview there. Chavis County Sheriff Mike Harrington will drop by in the 8 o'clock hour and give us an update on what's happening around the county. Probably talk fair and just all that good stuff. Yeah. It's always great to have the sheriff join us. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, 9:15, we're talking finances. Elliot Rodriguez, CMG Financial, going to join us for his monthly visit. He's not the guy that helps you pick the house. He's the guy that helps you pay for the house. So he always has great advice, and he loves to work with first-time home buyers. That's kind of his niche, his jam, so to speak. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're like, I don't know, how am I going to listen to 9 o'clock hour? Elliot could be your
we got you,
your guy to get you the home of your dreams.
Oh no, I got a guy for that.
We got a guy. He's a guy. Plus, we'll do all of our other features, including news of the local national variety and everything else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, bless you, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. It's
perfect time.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot for most of our weekend, but we will be cooling off on Sunday with a cold front moving in. No rain coming up for a while, though. We'll be in the low 90s with a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, partly cloudy, upper 50s, and then breezy again on Saturday, sunny, and it looks like mid-90s. 80 and sunny on Sunday. We'll stay in the 80s Monday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. The bless you was for Roy sneezing. I don't know if you could hear it on the air, but I heard it through my headphones. I thought maybe y'all could hear it, but if you were sneezing at that exact moment, yes, I was blessing you too. How did I know? Magic. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Warmer today, 93 and mostly sunny. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour for tonight. Mostly clear, looking at an overnight low of 56. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, our warmest day yet of this week anyway. Mostly sunny, 96 for a high. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning. Breezy for tomorrow afternoon, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies tomorrow night with an overnight low of 57. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cooler for you Sunday, breezy as well. Mostly sunny, high of 81. Winds will be up out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour early. Tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 48. Columbus Day on Monday, sunny skies, a high of 84. Then looking at the rest of the week, 84 and breezy for Tuesday. Wednesday, mid-70s, sunny 76. Thursday, sunny skies, highs in the 80, right around 80. So warmer temps today and tomorrow, but things cool down beginning Sunday. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview with Kay Galindo from the Roswell Refuge. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Don't miss the amazing concerts at this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, October 4th through the 9th. On October 6th at 7 p.m., it's Colton Dixon.
If you need freedom to the sky.
On October 7th, it's Grupo Maldad, Los Consentidos del Norte de Ciudad Juárez, and Los Tremendos León. On Friday, don't miss the Dirty River Boys.
Used to walk down Santa Fe Street, had a quarter in my hand and a fake ID.
Sundance Hit. Jody Nix.
Across the alley from the Alamo, when the summer sun starts to settle low.
And Sherry Rowe.
By way of Southwest.
And on Saturday, Edición de Rancho, Conjunto Bengala, and Los Culpables y su estilo diferente. For a complete list of events at this year's fair, log on to enmsf.com.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and affordably priced. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Amigo Machinery, 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
The Artesia Arts Council presents the return of Art in the Park. Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th at JC Park in Artesia. Friday night from 4 to 9, come out for lots of free arts and crafts, plenty of awesome food trucks, and a night chock full of all sorts of live performances. The festival continues Saturday from 9 to 4, including the Artesia High School Band Cakewalk. There's something for everyone, and best of all, admission is absolutely free. Art in the Park, Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th at JC Park. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck, the sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Refuge, Kay Galindo back with us. Morning, Kay.
Good morning, Mike. Good to see you again.
Good seeing you again. It's been a few months since we've had a chance.
Yes.
Yeah, and good news is you guys are going and blowing and doing your thing and helping people as much as you can right now.
We're hanging in there. It's been tough, of course, just like for everyone else, with COVID. I mean, hopefully, this, I don't know that passing is going to be the word, but it will lighten up some. But
dealing with it, at least
absolutely
coping with it. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Just out of curiosity, for folks that aren't familiar, the Roswell Refuge is, I would say, the organization here for us in Roswell, really Chaves County, as a support for victims of domestic violence. And it's all facets, from just someone to talk to if you're ready to break out of that situation and start over. The refuge is there to help you do all that. And don't forget, too, they have the offender side. So for folks that have committed domestic violence things and are trying to better themselves and get out of those situations, because we've said this, you and I have said this 100 times, it's a cycle. A lot of times abusers were abused themselves as kids and things.
Those are facts.
So you guys have a great program to try to break those cycles and end that from that perspective. So,
yes.
And then couple all of that with they partnered with the SANE program, and this is this program is designed to help victims of sexual assault.
Yes.
If there's a rape or a sexual assault situation, first things first, they help the victim medically.
Yes.
And then obviously socially or mentally, all that stuff. And then if the victim would like to press charges and collect evidence for criminal purposes, and then obviously set the table for treatment and things afterwards, the SANE program is involved with all
amazing
of that.
Program. Kim Hansen does an amazing job. I always reiterate to her every chance I get that, the good Lord puts you in the right path, because I myself personally could never, ever do her job.
They do the greatest thing in the world helping people, but not one single client or customer or whatever you want to call the individuals that come to them are coming from a good place. That's, you know what I mean? And that's where it's rough. It's every single person is coming from a place of badness. Yeah,
they're being victimized.
And so when you're trying to help people and stuff, you always you want to be happy and everything. So obviously you're dealing with it's kind of like CASA. That same thing when they're the voice for these kids and things.
Absolutely.
They're trying to help good people in bad situations.
Well, in that area of Kim's expertise, it's very, very difficult for her. She's an amazing person just in herself, but she does an amazing job. Her priority is to certainly keep them as comfortable as possible. But, whether it be a 6-month-old baby or a 56-year-old woman, her concern is to make sure that they are taken care of.
Priority one is that. Yeah.
That's just priority.
Nothing else takes precedent
absolutely
over making sure that patient is safe and secure.
Absolutely. And she does an amazing job. I just can't say how.
Well, and this is the part that gets me, is because the staff, the paid and volunteers, everybody that's in part, and this is in the refuge, in the same program, because they're doing great things every day, but if you're going into a place where you're dealing with negativity every day, that's got to mess with your own head
absolutely.
A little bit. And so for them to come in and be that beacon of light in a dark area all the time, 24/7, that's really hard to ask of somebody, and they do amazing work doing that.
You can almost just see it on her face when, she'll come in the office. She has court, and she's got to pick up papers or whatnot at the office. You can almost just see that,
sure.
Her night's sleep wasn't well.
Well, if you're seeing bad all day, and I don't care what it is, I don't care where it is, it's going to make your brain.
It wears on you.
Kind of think, well, this is what, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the world I live in now, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you get a little jaded because you're only seeing things from that perspective. So
her only saving grace is that, there are times that, those victims, the perpetrator does get convicted.
Sure.
So, she works.
You get those moments.
Absolutely.
Sure. But here's the thing is you're dealing with people that have hit their bottoms or are really in a rough spot, and you have to be happy or be positive no matter what. And that's where it's so great for these folks, because if you're in a negative world all the time, it's easy to fall into that mindset, into that.
Absolutely.
And so the mental health of your staff and volunteers is so vital, because if they can't take care of themselves, which they've got to because of the nature of the work,
absolutely,
they can't help others, and they end up slipping into the very same things that they
and that
probably
dark side as well
that they're helping people come out of.
And it's hard. It's hard not to do that, even in
it's like law enforcement or anything else.
Anything else.
You get too close to the situation sometimes,
and it does become very strenuous mentally, when, it's just like, when they come to the window and they need a restraining order, and you obviously can see that they've been abused.
Through the ringer, yeah.
And some are very bad.
Sure.
You can't help but take that home with you, and it weighs on you.
And of course, what legally you can and can't do in certain scenarios and things, sometimes your hands are tied, even though what you want to do is the right thing, but legally you're but
it's
and
just
that's the beast of what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Here. But that's why it's so great that the individuals there that are doing this stuff, we talk about, in the world and heroes and everyday heroes and all this stuff. Those individuals that spend day in and day out with at the refuge and the same program and organizations like it throughout the world. They are heroes. These
Absolutely.
are people that are doing things that are changing lives, and putting their own selves at peril to do it. They really are.
And it's kind of an unfortunate thing. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Unfortunately, we're at a bad point where we're not able to really
It's hard to do
our
outreach.
vigil. We're kind of stuck at doing
on your outreach.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to get out there and get as much put out as we can. But understandably, people are very concerned with, the virus and
So what I could tell people, like you said, October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and that's what we want to raise awareness, and this is this is something that maybe all of us need to think about, because whether you know it or not, I imagine every single person on this that's listening is impacted either directly or indirectly by domestic violence. It's as bad as cancer, where we talk about everybody knows somebody dealing with cancer. Well, unfortunately, odds are very good you probably know someone, or you yourself are involved in some kind of domestic violence, or at least aware of some kind of scenario situation.
Always.
So use this month to remind yourself to educate people on this thing. There's a fine. We live in a great country, and freedom and your abilities to do things you want to, and having your abilities to do the things you want, that's very important and all that. But where that opens us up is the cost for some of that is that only works in a world where everybody's a good human being, and that's it's any form of government. I don't care what it is, but and most of us are. I mean, I believe humanity as a whole, we're all good people for the most part. There's a few exceptions or a few misguided people.
We hope.
Exactly, but use this moment to say, hey, I know things aren't my business sometimes, but when it comes to domestic violence, if something isn't stirring the Kool-Aid for you, your intuition is the best
always
best barometer of that. If it doesn't feel right,
it's probably not
even
right.
If you can't put your finger on it, you're just like, I can't explain it.
But something's just not adding up.
The way people are acting, it's not natural. Don't just pawn that off. Use that as the red flag. Let's, even if it's a minute red flag, look into it and don't just move about your day and think nothing of it.
And, society just has the mentality that, well, why didn't that person just leave?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't understand what they're living in as far as being beat down, family threatened, they'll threaten the animal. I'll kill your dog.
It's not.
It's just not that easy.
Sure.
The recidivism is 7 times before they actually make the big move.
It's kind of this is a comparison. It's not the best of comparisons, but it is it's like telling an alcoholic, well, just stop drinking.
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's not a disease like that per se. But what I mean is, it's a mental disease. And what the human body, the brain, I think it craves routine pattern. You know what I mean? Even if it's not a good pattern, it's still a pattern. At least you can understand and wrap your head around it. So even if that pattern of life for them is not the most ideal for anybody, it's still their pattern of life. And anytime you're changing basically, and let's face it, not every scenario is like this, but when there's a domestic violence scenario, most of the time, to end it in a good way, that person has to almost disengage their entire life from that situation.
Absolutely. And that's why
to do that.
That's why we stress so highly that our shelter is there 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone that will pick that phone up. We will make the provisions
Sure.
that are necessary to get them there safely.
And an MO or a common symptom in a domestic violence situation is the power side, the part where the victim feels not only that the other person has control, but if that person's not in their life, they can't function themselves. They can't
Correct.
raise their own money. They can't live on their own. They can't raise the kids. They can't do all these things. And you need my money. You need this, or you're not. And all of that weighs in. And again, it's a tool of the abuser to keep control, to keep power. And whether it's consciously or subconsciously, that's what's going on there. And so the victim believes that and buys into that.
Well, when you've lived it, for all
and
this
that's what
time,
they know. That's what they know.
and never been allowed to actually stand on your own 2 feet,
Mm-hmm.
because generally, they're very controlled.
Mm-hmm.
They're distanced from family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have that resource to say, I'm believing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then they just continually be victimized.
And that's the cycle we're talking about.
That's the cycle. And once again, always, I'm a mother. I can speak from experience. I'll take the kids.
Sure.
A mother's going to go through whatever she has to protect her children.
And I don't remember everything, but if I remember, you and I talked in the past, and you yourself were a victim.
Yes, I'm a survivor of domestic violence.
And so it makes sense now where you're at today, and you've walked in those shoes.
Absolutely.
You've been there and done that, and if nothing else, that's the kind of stuff that probably makes the biggest help. Yes, you've got programs and all that great stuff, but there's something very powerful about a person that's walked in the same shoes as someone else.
You understand it much better.
Exactly. And a person that is a victim or an abuser or whatever, the person you're trying to reach, if they know that you've been there and walked those same shoes, it's because every certain person, if you're an alcoholic, if you're an abuser, whatever it is, they're like, you don't know me, you don't know what got me here. But when someone says, "Oh yeah, I did that 10 times worse,"
and I've shared my story many times with clients that come in, and I've said, "I've been in your shoes, and you there are resources,
absolutely,
and just to be able to talk to that person and say, I've had that black eye, my ex-husband, his famous was to put a pillow over my head and smother me.
Oh wow,
so." That's just what he did.
That's crazy. And for most of us, we can't. Why would you do that other than to kill somebody?
Certainly.
But in the abuser's head, no. It's, to be honest, probably had no intention of killing you.
Absolutely.
And they're saying, no, I'm going to bring them to the point of it and say, your life is in my hands.
Well,
and bring you back. And that's,
when
I'm thinking something like that's going on in their head.
When you can't breathe, you're going to do whatever it takes to not.
Yeah.
To be able to breathe. So
and obviously you've never come across that or been. It's hard to wrap your head around that situation.
Right.
But if that's your lifestyle, if that's a day in, day out, or something very similar to that, this is what we're talking about. And I don't care who you are or where you've been. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, your normal gets jaded. Your own brain rationalizes things differently. Oh, this is not so bad. I can, you know what I mean?
Well, if I hadn't made him mad.
Yeah. You start trying to rationalize
because your abuser always comes back with.
Oh, sure.
How come it took you so long at the grocery store? What were you doing?
Sure.
I wouldn't have been mad if you'd have been back. It's always.
Yeah.
They're going to find a way to justify their abuse.
Absolutely. And I would guess, even, from the abuser's perspective, when you're thinking, and I know a lot of us who can't wrap your head around it's probably thinking, well, geez, that's just a bad person. They're, they are evil. And I'm not saying those people don't exist. They do. They absolutely do, and they're out there. But let me go back to this cycle thing we're talking about. If you were a kid and your parents and whomever beat the snot out of you every time you did this, and did abusive things, whether it's, I'm not even talking about the over-the-top sexual and stuff we can, that's bad. I'm talking just the constant berating, the constant, what are you doing, stupid? What are you doing? You're no good. Saying those kind of things over and over. If that's their lifestyle, they're going to treat people the exact same way when they are older, and that's probably why they're in that power. Look, I was beat down my whole life. Now I'm a man. I'm an adult, and I'll be dang if someone's going to do that to me now. I'm going to be, and so that by default, their personality turns into one of being the victim to I'm going to be the oppressor, so I'm not the victim again.
Right.
And so,
I've seen that it is a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And the HEAL program that Lauren teaches and the domestic violence classes it's very enlightening. So, when she does see that light come on, then they actually realize, my dad did it, my brothers did it, well, okay, you can break the cycle. Someone has to break the cycle, because if the cycle isn't broken, it's just going to continue.
Absolutely. And this is my opinion. This is just me. I'm not throwing it. It's just what I think when we talk about domestic violence and breaking the cycle here. And I think I think the one thing that we as humanity will have to do before we even have a real shot of breaking that cycle for good, and this is just mental health. I think we're light years behind in mental health research and things compared to other parts of medicine. But because of it's going to take all of us, because I think the trick to breaking the cycle is to be more into the therapy and things for the offender side.
Well, that goes back to our awareness.
I think, but we as a people almost need to forgive a little bit, because it's and this is society, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just, you hear, oh, that guy's a wife beater. That person's we're ready. We don't care. We're instantly like, you know what? String them up, throw them in. And I hear you. My own mindset. I'm like, yeah,
absolutely. That's just common nature.
We got to get rid of that mindset. Because all that's going to do is make these people more defensive and more fight. It's kind of like backing someone into a corner. They're going to flee or fight. And these people are going to fight because that's how their mentality.
That's their mentality.
And so to de-escalate that, to de-arm it, we almost have to put that stigma as a society and say, you know what? Yes, you're an abuser. You've done bad things, but that doesn't make you a bad person. We need to understand that and fix that. It's no different. And then I'm getting, like, I just watched a documentary on Netflix about it's a guy with multiple personalities, Billy Milligan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was a famous case in the 70s, 80s,
yes,
and everything else. And, he ended up raping and sexually abusing some college girls in the late 70s, early 80s. And then later on in the 80s, after some of his treatment things, there was some murders, which he probably ended up doing. But the trick was, it's like, yeah. And it's not a whole lot different than the same scenario here. We're talking, it's like, he's diagnosed. He really legitimately has multiple personalities. So, yes, what he's doing is heinous. But if the main personality doesn't realize that's even going on, is it fair to punish that person? If you know what I'm saying? It's so to the easy outside person, string them up,
right?
You know, and I commiserate and feel that too, because I'm the same way. But in reality, if he's legit, and of course, we're so behind, you can't tell if he's fake and real because we don't have the medicine there we're just learning and understanding this. And we're still, this was 80s and 70s. I imagine we're not that much farther along in this research on this type of stuff. But it's no different there. The only way we're going to figure out how to deal with that is we're going to have to let our own hang-ups come down on some of this stuff, not automatically label something as evil without saying, well, it's evil till we don't understand it. Let's understand. It's no different than you look at history and you look back and say, oh, there was witches and this, and it's because they didn't understand science and understand why it was doing what it must be witches. We don't want to go down that same road. Oh, they're just evil.
Right.
And chalk it up as
Absolutely.
evil. No, there's something in their life that's triggering these, and we need to find out what that is. And the only way to do that is for us to let our own hate and our own biased opinions on something, put that aside and just search for the truth. And that's
another issue with DV that we have found is that generally drugs and or alcohol are generally always involved. And that in itself is an issue.
Sure.
But
then again, I would also argue those are symptoms still. Like they've got problems and they're using the alcohol and drugs.
That's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can honestly tell you that, you have issues already.
Right.
Don't add to it.
I think
with
drugs and alcohol is your form of self-medication.
Oh, of course it's a Band-Aid.
I'm pretty sure no one's ever got a good diagnosis or good treatment doing that. But that's in our brain, that's how we rationalize.
And with Lauren's classes, you can voluntarily go and take these classes. You don't have to be court ordered. If you feel like you have an issue that maybe you haven't done it yet, but you felt the urge, please come down, sign up for the classes.
Sure.
They're free of charge.
Yeah, the offender class is a valuable program.
Yes, and it's just so enlightening.
Well, and like you said, I mean, obviously there's court-ordered people, folks there. But if you feel yourself, maybe you're in that situation, maybe you were abused as a kid, and then now yourself are having issues, and you're kind of, I want to, I mean.
Don't get it to that point.
Yeah, nip it in the
Reach
bud
out
now.
because it's there, it's available.
Sure.
Lauren has her facilitators, but right now, just gonna put it out there while I'm with you. She's definitely needing facilitators, most especially male facilitators.
Well, like the COVID world, everybody needs help right now.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But we certainly are there at any time if someone, needs anything. Lauren goes above and beyond.
Absolutely.
Her and all of her staff, they're just amazing. And
the whole refuge umbrella is a success because of those staff. That's the main reason why. We got the generosity. People made great donations, and all of that keeps those doors open. But that staff and those individuals that are part of the refuge, the SANE program, that's the real treasure. That's the real.
That's the core of our organization.
Yeah, that's what's making a difference every single day.
Gonna shoot it out there too while we're on air. The shelter is in dire need of hygiene.
Okay.
Family size hygiene.
Shampoo bottles.
Yes.
Soap
Body
bottles,
wash, lotion,
conditioners,
pajamas, undergarments,
toothpaste,
toothbrushes, things of that nature.
Towels and linens are always in demand.
That's always a. And
like Kay said there a minute ago, family size. When you go out shopping for the toiletries and health and beauty products, think family size because these are things that go with them.
They're generally not going to be there overnight.
Yeah, and they, like you said too, it's not a couple day thing. They could be there up to a month or 6 months or whatever. But anyway, they're going to be living there for a little bit.
Certainly.
And so the big family size bottles are much better than the travel size. Now, if you got a bunch of travel size, bring them by.
Absolutely.
You guys partner with all the other nonprofits.
The Homeless Coalition, absolutely.
And so they can, what you guys can't use direct, they can use. So your
Pastor
generosity.
Green, if he's needing something at
and vice versa
Harvest
too.
Ministry,
If they have folks that need something, they send them your way
absolutely,
too, and vice versa. Yeah,
that of course our thrift store, all of our donations absolutely are. Our clients in shelter are first priority.
Yeah, that's Kay's that's kind of your baby over there. Is
that's my little baby. Yeah, we've revamped it. It's all brand new. It's you got to look for the purple door because purple's our color for right. The purple is for domestic violence. Teal, of course, is for sexual assault.
Of course, if you're a Prince fan and that motivates you to come in.
And there you go. Right.
So be it.
Right. But it's just amazing. We're going to, on the 16th of this month, we're going to kind of have end of the summer.
Little close out.
Little closeout deal.
Okay.
We're going to have hot dogs, chips, and Coke for $3.
Okay.
It'll be from 9 to 2 on Saturday on the 16th.
Awesome. And all the proceeds go back to the refuge
baked
programs.
goods. All of that goes back to the refuge. Absolutely. Everything certainly goes in.
And I don't want to undersell this. You said you have baked goods.
We're going to have baked goods.
I didn't want to slip that under the radar. There's going to be baked goods.
That's going to be some very good baked goods. We have some very good bakers in our organization.
Yes. Pro tip, earlier the better.
Yes.
Like what time's everything start? 9?
9 o'clock.
Be there
Saturday
at 9
morning.
for the baked goods.
Yes.
At 9:30, the slimmer pickings because the early bird gets the worm on the baked goods.
We've actually, in the times that we've done before, we've done very well.
Good.
So that always pans out. So,
and of course, if you have items you'd like to donate or
dressers,
shop, of course.
Right now, dressers are a huge necessity at the shelter.
Okay, so if you got
some dressers that you just been thinking about getting rid of, we would be so happy to take them.
Yeah.
I do want to mention a little something. We're so blessed to have people in the community that are so good to us. Chad Hamill in Hagerman, he owns Napa. He donated a battery to one of our clients yesterday.
A car battery or
a car battery.
That's nice. I got him on the road again.
Yeah, he was just more than willing to do that. So I just want to give a little shout out to Chad. They're amazing people, the Hemmels are.
And this is, I know we talked about all the great work the staff does, and it's very true, but the generosity of the community, that's making changes, not only physically with the addressing physical needs, but emotional as well.
Absolutely.
That's part of the therapy.
You know, like I always tell you, Mike, some of our clients leave in the middle of the night, literally with the clothes on their back and 2 or 3 children, whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So we've always got whatever they need to get them on their feet.
The basics of life necessities.
And now tomorrow we'll get you in, get you settled.
Sure.
And tomorrow, if you need something, Peggy's amazing. She always goes above and beyond to try to comfort them in the best way that we can.
Absolutely.
It's a hard situation, and you know you're leaving your king size bed to go into a room that you know no one. That's difficult in itself.
Again,
but it's a very nice place, and they've revamped the
family. It's a family atmosphere.
Shelter as well, and it's got some pretty color, and so it's
trying to bring
kind of
home.
homey,
Yeah,
little
make it a
homey
home
atmosphere.
feel.
Yes.
Because don't forget, there's kids in the shelter. So don't forget about that kind of side too. I know we got the holidays coming up, so I know you're desperate for health and beauty and toiletries and things like that.
Non-perishables are always a welcome as well.
But we got the holidays around the corner, so when you start your toy shopping and Christmas shopping, please don't forget the refuge. Don't forget the teenagers too. I know a lot of people like buy little kid toys, which is awesome.
Right.
But think about some stuff that teenagers would like too,
well,
both boys and girls.
They always like makeup and hair dye, and so we always
gift cards Apple or Amazon cards are probably pretty good, popular. You know.
And we're gracious to everybody in the community.
Yeah,
because without the community, we're a nonprofit.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
The doors will not be open.
No, without there's graciousness of the community.
Absolutely.
We would not be Roswell Refuge.
Yeah, so come shop the thrift store.
Come see the store.
Donate to the thrift store.
We're not taking donations right at the moment, Mike.
Call ahead and ask.
And I don't know exactly when.
Okay.
The only thing that we're taking would be like household items, dishes, pots, pans,
dressers,
those things, dressers, things of that nature. But
and then
as far
the toiletries and soaps and
toiletries, but
and
as
that's
far
not really going to the thrift store. That's going right to the home for the people, the residents. Yeah.
We always, as I've explained before, that's when they leave.
Yeah.
They've gotten an apartment. They need silverware.
They get a shopping spree through the thrift store.
Absolutely.
And that's where your partners come in too, because you're like, hey, I need something, but we don't have one here. Let me call the Humane Society thrift store, or what's going on over at Rivers of Life or whatever, and seeing, hey,
certainly
you got something over there. Hey, we need someone who needs this. You can, and that's where that community part comes in. Yeah.
And it's the community just comes together when it comes to the homeless and victims. We come together. Like I said, Rivers of Life, Harvest Ministries. Somebody needs something, we always try to pull together.
Absolutely, it's a well close knit group, and with all the same end game of just trying to help people in our community.
And we also our thrift store. We have a new page on Facebook.
Okay.
That is our VIP page.
Oh, so if you want like exclusive deals, swag, check that out.
Absolutely. And here probably within the next 30 days, we're also going to have a selling sites as well.
Okay, cool.
So
it's a little online shopping.
Online shopping as well.
So help the refuge in the comfort of your underpants at home.
Absolutely. And your pajamas and your cup of coffee.
Awesome. Before we go, give out the two main numbers we need. First, let's give the hotline. This is the number.
I'm always in trouble because I never know that. But I'll give you the number two. The shelter, that's the number.
Yes.
And it's 575-627-8361.
Very good. If you have questions about thrift store stuff or anything.
That's 575-624-3222.
Call that number. The office number.
That's
got
the
anything
admin
else.
office.
If you have any other questions about anything else not related to thrift store stuff.
Yes.
Just, questions about the program, questions about, the restraining orders, all that.
Yes.
They can handle all that for
Yes,
you there.
they're at the admin. That's 1215 North Garden.
Yeah, and then, of course, come by the thrift store, which is right in that
Look
area,
for the
too.
purple door.
Come by the purple door. What's the hours for shopping there?
9 to 2, Monday through Friday.
So come on by and come ready to walk out with an armload of stuff.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Did we get it okay?
I think we did.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I'll
Good
think
seeing
of
you.
something that I didn't remember, of course.
About an hour from now. And you'll be like,
No,
oh, yeah.
as soon as I get in the car. I should have said that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we want to thank you for always having us on.
Anytime. Love having you guys.
We appreciate you guys.
What you guys do is an amazing thing, and more people should know about it. So.
And thanks to you, that happens.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to help. I can do that. That's my easy job as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks so much for having us.
We'll see you next time, okay?
Always.
All right, 8:56. Let's take a quick break before we get you into news here. Don't go away.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell last week, another sign that the U.S. job market and economy continue their steady recovery from last year's coronavirus recession. Unemployment claims fell by 38,000 to 326,000, the first drop in 4 weeks, the Labor Department said Thursday. The British government said Thursday that it will relax travel rules further next week, a move that will open up many long-distance holiday destinations to travelers for the first time since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic a year and a half ago. On Wall Street, the Dow up 338 points, closing at 34,754. The Nasdaq up 152 points to 14,654, and the S&P 500 added 36 points to 4,399. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The news has been hard to watch lately. It seems we live in a climate of fear and too often of hate. Part of me wonders if the world is getting worse, but then I think about history. I'm not sure if the world is getting worse as much as we've just gotten better at getting our news reports faster. A question I keep asking our congregation is, what is the church's responsibility? I know we're to pray for a kinder, safer world, but there's got to be more that we can do. I know I can't change everything that's going on in the world, but I know I can change a little bit of what happens here in Roswell. I need to practice and teach all of those around me to love like Jesus does. To love in spite of color, political background, or national heritage. To love the poor, the middle class, and even the rich. To help the hurting and encourage those who are struggling. To be grateful to all who impact my life and the lives of others around me. This might not change the whole world, but it might change a little bit of my community.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Good morning, honey. Hey, I have to pick up the kids from school this afternoon. Can you call...
A home invasion can happen anytime, even when you're at home. Protect your home and the ones you love with whole home security from Zenith Security. The security experts at Zenith Security can monitor your whole home 24/7. So they're ready whether you're there or not. Call Zenith Security Services, LLC at 626-3521. That's 626-3521 and get whole home security with Zenith Security Services, LLC.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the Loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse, or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health, anywhere, anytime.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. After byes last week, it's time to get back into action for Roswell and Goddard on the football schedule. Roswell is 2-4, lost their first 4, won their last 2. They'll be playing at Dumas, Texas. Dumas is 2-2. They play a big school schedule out in the Panhandle. They lost last week 38-19 to Randall out of Amarillo. Goddard 4-1 right now. Will be playing at Mayfield. Mayfield is 2-4. This will be in Las Cruces. Mayfield's last game was a 29-21 loss to Roswell High School. Also on the slate, Hagerman at home against Hagerman at home against Loving. Dexter at home against West Las Vegas. Gateway Christian at 5-0 against Clovis Christian at home. Lake Arthur playing at home against Elida. The Sports Report Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It is another disappointing employment report.
The Labor Department says U.S. employers added just 194,000 jobs in September. It was far less than the nearly 500,000 jobs analysts were anticipating. While the unemployment rate fell by 0.4% to 4.8%, the second straight tepid jobs gain is evidence that the coronavirus pandemic still has a grip on the economy. Fear of COVID continues to keep some would-be job seekers on the sidelines.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. With the help of 11 Republicans who voted to end a filibuster, the Senate approving a short-term $480 billion hike in the debt ceiling. The extension, which has yet to go to the House for a vote there, averts a threatened government default, at least for 2 months. Former President Trump, among Republicans, condemning the short-term extension, which was a result of a deal worked out between Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. There are two of them, two journalists, who will share the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize. One of them, Maria Ressa of the Philippines.
Ms. Ressa and Rappler have documented how social media is being used to spread fake news, harass opponents, and manipulate the public discourse.
The chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee says the other prize winner is Russian newspaper publisher and journalist Dmitry Muratov. It's a win for Texas at the expense of California. Tesla planning to move its corporate headquarters from Palo Alto to Austin. No timetable mentioned for the move, revealed by Tesla chief Elon Musk. Watching Wall Street, stocks narrowly mixed. Right now, the Dow is up 21 points, while the NASDAQ is down 3, the S&P 4 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mounds and mounds of fur. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Marquette Mama, she's 10 years old. She has dandruff and an oily coat.
I have 2 cats, Dixie and Daisy. Daisy sheds like crazy.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
DINOVITE.com. I just tried this wonderful Catalicious Dynavite for cats, and my cat has been on it for 2 weeks. She is not scratching anymore. She's not chewing anymore. It is just the best.
I was thrilled when I heard Dynavite for cats was coming out because I had seen the changes in my dog. To introduce my cat to Dynavite, I took the advice from Dynavite and put their food on top of just a scoop in the bowl, just to get them used to it, because I know if I even switch one little thing, they put their nose up to it. There was not one problem.
Dynavite for life.
You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
The German foreign minister, the latest European Union representative, voicing concern about a Polish constitutional court ruling that Poland's national law trumps EU law. And the Polish prime minister is speaking out.
Mr. Morawiecki said Poland's entry to the EU in 2004 was one of the highlights of recent decades. He said Poland's place is and will be in the European family of nations. However, his challenge to the bloc's legal order has raised the stakes in his government's ongoing dispute with Brussels. Ministers from France and Germany say Poland must follow the EU's rules. But Mr. Morawiecki insists the EU is overstepping its powers and has no right to criticise Poland for the way it organises its judiciary.
That's BBC's Adam Easton in Warsaw. Bomb went off today in a mosque in northern Afghanistan. Police say at least 100 people killed or wounded in that bombing. News and analysis at townhall.com. Do you find misinformation troubling? Well, apparently a lot of people do.
95% of Americans have identified misinformation as a problem when they're trying to access important information. A new poll from the Pearson Institute and the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research reveals about half blame the U.S. government, while 3/4 point to social media users and tech companies. 53% say they're not concerned that they have spread misinformation, but about 6 in 10 are at least somewhat concerned that their friends or family members have been part of the problem. Mike Hemp in Washington.
Ireland, a holdout, now agrees to join an international deal establishing a minimum corporate tax of 15% globally. Ireland ditching a low tax policy at 12.5% corporate tax rate. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Sean in there. You going to do some?
The deuce.
All right. Roy's got it there for you. So, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Sean, I think he's on air at the moment on his
He's
show.
out at the moment, but he'll be back.
Ah, very good. Welcome to hour number 2. Hope all of you are having a great morning thus far. Got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday. Hook us up with delicious breakfast treats. I haven't had a chance to nose through the bag, Roy. What's on tap in the breakfast bag today?
Egg McMuffins, burritos, sausage egg McMuffins, hash browns. I think that's it.
That's all you need. That's all grown boy needs right there is hash browns and sausage and meats and eggs on bread. That's all you need. So come on by and our guests and every big thank you to come and get free breakfast. Big thank you to them. Swing on by any of your McDonald's here in town. Of course, we're down to 2 at the moment. Your UFO McDonald's and then your North Main McDonald's. Your South Main, it's getting there.
It's coming.
It's coming. They are hiring for all 3 McDonald's here in town. I believe they're also probably hiring for McDonald's in Artesia and in Carlsbad, too. Nick and his team own all of those, and so probably hiring in all the locations throughout the Pecos Valley. You can learn more about career opportunities with McDonald's at mchire.com. That's www. Sean's favorite.
And Nick's brother Chris owns the Artesia one, right?
He runs it, yeah, or did. I'm not. It's the Snowburger family, but yeah, he was running that one. I'm not sure if he's still there or they got him.
Yeah, I saw his face on the billboard. In Artesia.
Yeah. Holding the Big Mac, if I remember.
Hopefully,
right.
he's still there. That.
But and I'll tell you this: if you look at Nick's team, Nick Snowburger and his team, all of his management and everything else, those are all folks that started at the beginning. Probably didn't go to MC Hire because maybe that wasn't available yet, but they got hired at McDonald's and started out, working in the restaurants, making burgers and taking orders and doing all the things that there, and then going into management. Now they're, part of the management team. So yes, a career with McDonald's, you can do very well through that. So again, go to mchire.com to learn more and to fill out an application and get you some food while you're there, because it's McDonald's, the happiest. No one's mad there, and you're eating a cheeseburger or some chicken nuggets.
Do they still have that K-pop one, the BTS one?
I'm not sure if that's still in thing. I think that may have passed. That was a limited time deal.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you download the app to your smartphones, the McDonald's app's free, doesn't cost you anything. You can order, pay, get food. But that's where you find exclusive deals, like the one Roy's talking about there. That's where those usually pop up, is in the app. So if you want like celebrity deals, like they'll have different basketball players and musicians, and they kind of have their favorite meal, and you can get that at a discount price, usually through the app. So and sometimes they like with the one you're talking about, they had a special sauce out for that one, if I remember right. Yeah.
Two of them, two different ones.
Yeah. So go download the app and take advantage of some of those deals. Of course, and if you're old school and like, I know, give me the Big Mac, give me the Egg McMuffin, give me the fries. That's all they need. They got you covered. No big deal.
And the unsweet tea.
Yeah. Well, that's probably me.
Yeah.
Most people go for the Cokes and things. I will tell you, if McDonald's did this, I would be very, very happy.
Yeah.
I know. And for folks that don't know, the McDonald's, like the drink selection and how the drinks are done and the ice, there's a whole science to that. And so it's a big deal whenever they change a drink out, because they have such a meticulous regime when it comes to it's no joke. The ice and stuff that they got specific filtrations and even the straw that you get at McDonald's is shaped different than other straws and done different. They do all kind of science.
I'd say it's the perfect straw.
That's what they do. They do the science behind it to make sure you get the proper suckage to their beverage. There's scientists working on this stuff. It's science.
Yeah, the straws really suck. Yes,
they do. But so with that, it's kind of a big deal when they add and subtract drinks. But if they added Coke Zero to the McDonald's fold of beverages, I think it's time.
Yeah, I know I wanted it.
I drink Diet Coke and I like Diet Dr. Peppers, but Coke Zero is my jam, and I don't drink regular Coke, and I don't like Diet Coke as much. My wife prefers Diet Coke. A lot of people drink Diet Coke, but I'm a Coke Zero guy.
Yeah, it's a viable option.
Yeah, so and I think there's a lot of people like me, particularly the male variety. I think males feel like if they drink Diet Coke, they're feeling a little feminine. Some, not all. And so they try to macho it up with Zero. To me, that's none of that. I don't care. There's an aftertaste in Diet Coke that's not there in Coke Zero that I like. That's the difference for me. But I'm just saying, think about it, McDonald's. Whoever Ray Kroc's replacement is, whoever's in charge, who's running this deal, let's add Coke Zero to it's time.
Yeah. And you don't need to add ice to most of the time. They usually come out really refrigerated anyway.
Oh yeah, they got a whole science to. Whether you go to ice or no, it's quite impressive how they don't mess around with that kind of stuff. So big thank you to McDonald's. But yeah, Coke Zero. If we could do that, God bless you, one. You'll be saving a grateful nation.
Can we get some? No, maybe I shouldn't.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. By the way, it's going to get warm this weekend and then cooler temps beginning Sunday. Then later on this hour, about 8:15 or so, here in just a few, we're going to have Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington join us. Sometimes he brings Under Sheriff Charles Eastlis. Sometimes they're busy. But we'll have them drop by and we'll chit-chat, get up to date on what's happening around the county through the Sheriff's Department. Probably talk quite a bit about the fair. Of course, they've been out and about busy at the fair, throughout the county, but definitely out at the fair all week too, keeping things fun for everybody out there. So we'll talk with Sheriff Mike Harrington here in just a little bit. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with local news along with your town hall business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Hey, I do want to remind you tonight, Whoa, is opening night for the Roswell Community Little Theater's Unnecessary Farce. Tried opening nights tonight. Then they'll have performances tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon. Then they'll do it all over again next Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. The Friday and Saturday evening performances are at 7:30 p.m. The Sunday matinees are at 2:30 p.m. You can get tickets right now at roswelltheater.com. That's Roswell Theater, THEATRE, not like the eater, but spelled theater like live theater, THEATRE.com. Get your tickets there. Not only get tickets for Unnecessary Farce, Bye Bye Birdie. They weekend 2 had to be postponed because of COVID illness, things like that. They rescheduled weekend number 2. It's going to be happening the weekend after Unnecessary Farce. So it'll be 2 weeks from today, 3 weeks, I think. Not this week or next weekend, but the weekend after. So if you got tickets for that already, then you get to go. You'll get to go be that next weekend of shows. If not, you can get tickets for that show, too, at RoswellTheater.com. Also, they've got the Kids Arts Program. They got their event coming up here at like the 20, I think it's 23rd. Don't quote me on that. Later in October at the Historical Society. Learn more there. Again, RoswellTheater.com. Good resource for all that. But, yeah, it's going to be a great play. Go back and check out our interview. As a matter of fact, we had some of the cast on yesterday talking about the play and all the fun that's part of it, and just kind of the behind the scenes of putting a play like this together. Check that out. It's in our video section, the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, KSVPTV.com. You can check out an interview with the Community Little Theater and learn all about Unnecessary Farce. All right, it is 8:15. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot for most of our weekend, but we will be cooling off on Sunday with a cold front moving in. No rain coming up for a while, though. We'll be in the low 90s with a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, partly cloudy, upper 50s, and then breezy again on Saturday, sunny, and it looks like mid-90s. 80 and sunny on Sunday. We'll stay in the 80s Monday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
You know, it amazes me how people that just use email for a living can't figure out how to work an email. I don't get it. And then they don't try to learn. They just keep doing the same dumb things over and over again. Anyway, currently 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today. Expect a high of 93. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. Let's see. Hold on. For tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 56. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Saturday, another warm one. Sunny, 96 for a high tomorrow. A little breezy for the afternoon. South winds early 5 to 10, picking up 15 to 20 for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 57. Southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cooler on Sunday and breezy. Mostly sunny, high of 81. Winds will be up out of the west early, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later in the day, picking up 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 48. And then for your Columbus Day on Monday, sunny and 84. Tuesday, sunny and 84, breezy. And then we drop down into the 70s on Wednesday, 76 officially, and then back up near 80 on Thursday. So warmer temps today, tomorrow. Things start cooling off Sunday. So that's what we're looking at. All right, it is, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington scheduled to join us in just a bit. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When you get home this evening, take a look at your furniture. If you're like most people, you never intended to keep it this long. But there it is, the same old furniture. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture and give your home a brand new look. Right now at Glenn's, everything in the store is specially priced, including stylish power reclining sofas and love seats, smart and practical dinettes and dining tables, and the latest sleep technology for your bedroom. Delivery is always free at Glenn's Furniture at Union and Alameda, helping people change for the better since 1953.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember.
Like most people, you're busy enjoying your life and taking care of today's priorities. But it's a good idea to think about your future. Will you have enough income to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle down the road? Time flies, so it's never too soon to create a financial strategy for your future. A super check from your local Farm Bureau agents can help make sure you're on track. Take control of your future and call Farm Bureau agents Caleb Grant, Jeff Weathers, and Chad Holloway in Roswell at 575-755-FBFS.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
The news has been hard to watch lately. It seems we live in a climate of fear and too often of hate. Part of me wonders if the world is getting worse, but then I think about history. I'm not sure if the world is getting worse as much as we've just gotten better at getting our news reports faster. A question I keep asking our congregation is, what is the church's responsibility? I know we're to pray for a kinder, safer world, but there's got to be more that we can do. I know I can't change everything that's going on in the world, but I know I can change a little bit of what happens here in Roswell. I need to practice and teach all of those around me to love like Jesus does. To love in spite of color, political background, or national heritage. To love the poor, the middle class, and even the rich. To help the hurting and encourage those who are struggling. To be grateful to all who impact my life and the lives of others around me. This might not change the whole world, but it might change a little bit of my community.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Did you know that most burglaries occur during the day? Why, you ask? Most of us are at work, leaving the burglar to go unnoticed. Did you know the average loss from a home burglary is over $2,200? Not including one's loss of emotional security in their own home. Avoid being a burglar's target market and get a monitored security system from Zenith Security Services, all for around $1 a day. Wouldn't you agree that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Call Zenith Security Services today, 626-3521.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's never a bad time to break out a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas. At home, the office, in the club, wherever. Parties happen with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. The perfect crunch, seasoned just right and ready to get the party started. It's the dippable chip that bites back. The chips that make bland salsas better. Grab a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery store across all of southeastern New Mexico and take the party up a notch with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. They're all that and a bag of chips.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends only 10 minutes a day speaking. Many wish Mike Winters was more like the average person. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chavez County Sheriff Mike Harrington back with us. Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. Glad to be here, and thank you for having me. So
glad you got
good.
a chance to come in today. I know
yes.
You get pulled in a direction or 2 or 12.
Yes. So it's been good, though, and I'm glad to do it. So
well, we how's of course Fair Week. We're big weekend coming up here. About to wrap up the fair today and tomorrow.
Very excited about it. Things have been going really good.
Yeah.
You know, the sheriff's office is doing all the law enforcement patrol out there and
keeping things copacetic out there.
Yes, got everything going. And the mounted patrol. Let me just throw that out there. The mounted patrol and the Dexter Fire Department are out there for free.
Yeah, they're volunteers.
And they are doing a fantastic job. So, you know, we have a great team out there, really on top of things. One of the things that I've also done is, you know, I have lieutenants within my department. So I brought out all the lieutenants who are all salary. So it keeps down the overtime, you know. So that's how that works.
Being a good steward of taxpayer money there.
So got the undersheriff, all the lieutenants, myself out there, and I get out there after everything else closes down. The commercial building closes down after everything. So then I go out there. But I'll tell you, the mounted patrol has been a great helping out with the traffic out front.
Sure.
And things have been going really well. We've had some crazy activity out there, but that's nothing different than any other time. You know, you're going to have your pushing and shoving over line, being in line.
Sure.
You're going to have just little things, but nothing serious really has happened. So
that's good. You know, I wanted to ask about that because, and you know, this is a new addition out there this year's the beer garden, which, you know, that's awesome. That's great to have, but anytime there's something like that, there's always people that abuse it.
Exactly.
That hasn't been a problem
at all.
Awesome. Good to hear. I'm glad to hear people are treating it responsibly. That's good.
And people pay enough money to get in that once you get in there, you say, you know what, I got to be out there getting my money's worth on everything else because, you know, it's $10 a person to get in there.
Sure.
So it's crazy how there's very few people who go over there. And if they do, it's just 1 or 2 beers.
Good.
If most
the way
of the time,
it should be.
Most of the time it's only one because it's fair prices. everything is fair prices. So, but I will tell you that they're being very responsible. They like last night during that concert, they had people checking you when you came in to the little fenced-off area, and then once you got in there, they're monitoring everything, and then the state police, the alcohol division is out there enforcing anything they don't see. So
they're keeping it.
It's very good.
Good,
it's running good.
I love that because I think that's a great thing to have out there, and to be. You know, if you're an adult and responsible, you know, that's you know, and if you're going to drink too many, you have your DD, your designated driver, and do all that, and be smart about it. There's no reason why you can't have a good time and be responsible with it. And I'm glad to see people, for the most part, are adhering to that.
Well, and what I truly believe this is that they are so happy to have things open and to have had this fair open.
Sure.
That they don't want to do anything that's going to cause it to not be open.
They have a vested interest in making it succeed.
They do.
Yeah.
And I take my hat off to the fair board. They've done a great job. Everything seems to be not knowing from one day to the next how things were going to be, if the fair was going to go, not go, everything. It's really going well. And the carnival they have out there is a different carnival.
Yeah.
And the management of that is excellent.
Yeah, and they've got great ride bands. They've got great deals. And good news is you still got plenty of time of fun left. You got all day today. You got tomorrow out there at the fair.
So,
the 2 biggest days of the fair, really. You got the big concerts tonight. More great concerts tomorrow night. Another Spanish night tomorrow night. Of course, the carnivals, all the stuff going on. So make plans to attend this week. And again, as we said a couple weeks ago when you were in last time with the little kids and everything, come take a picture. Go visit the Chaves County Rescue, I believe. They are the disaster relief.
Yep.
They have a booth out there.
He's actually right by the front gate.
Yes. So as soon as you come in, you can get an armband for your kid with your phone number. You put your phone number. That way, if you do get separated, people see this kid wander around loose, they see the armband on him, they know they can call you and you can get reunited there.
You know, he has really upgraded himself, and his team. They've been doing good things for this community.
Absolutely.
And I like to see people recognize that as well. But
yeah,
the food vendors are fantastic, as you can tell by looking at me. They are doing good. So it's really a much needed thing.
Yeah.
You know, we needed that, and it's so good to look out and see people just mingling together, but you know, not in fear of each other.
Being a community again.
Yeah, being a community again. And like I said, the biggest problems come whenever they think somebody cuts in line. You know, that's been the big thing. But when if you get there early, you can ride rides one time right after another.
Mm-hmm.
If you wait till 8 o'clock at night, you need to be reassured that you will wait in line.
Sure. Well,
you know, and you're going to so get your money's worth, get there early.
Yeah.
And
then what you do is you pick your favorites, and then when it's later in the evening, then you wait in line for the rides you really like.
The ones you really like.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's really good, and we've been busy out there, but I also want to tell you that my deputies who are working on patrol have been doing a great job.
Because they gotta.
Yeah.
You think about it. I mean, you still have the same amount of people.
Yep, exactly.
And a little extra
right.
I don't say territory, but just more responsibilities this week. Yeah,
yes.
and so it does.
But we're going to do it, and you know the reason is I'm not going to leave the fair unprotected, and we're going to be out there, and we're going to make sure you have a great time. And just like I tell my guys and gals that are out there working, this is why we do what we do. Look around and see everybody having a great time. Mm-hmm. We come out, we deal with the craziness of this world so that you can come out here and have a good time and not have to worry about nothing.
Sure.
And so it's been a good thing. And you know, we caught the guy who escaped from the jail.
Yeah, he was. That was kind of an interesting one.
Yes.
How did he get out? Was it or are they trying to figure that one out?
Right now, that's under investigation, and we're working a lot of things. We really don't want to put too much of that out there.
Sure,
but,
I understand that.
One thing that we do know is that he wasn't out long.
They caught him the next morning, I think.
Within 30 hours. So he got out that night before, and we had him picked up. Actually, we had him located earlier, but I want to say this. This was a joint effort that ran perfectly between the Chaves County Sheriff's Office, the State Police, the Roswell Police Department. Everybody was working hand in hand on this. People were calling in tips. They were calling in. And that's the good thing about a community that supports law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
They're not afraid to call you. And that's been one of my big things is getting out there and talking to people and going to these functions and making them know that we are approachable.
Sure.
And calls come in, but great detective work by all three of those agencies. But it wasn't one agency by itself.
It was a collaborative effort.
It was a collaborative effort.
Everyone contributed to the success of this thing.
It sure was. So.
And this is, I know you can't answer this, but I never understand. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that think, and I know we're coming from a place where we don't have necessarily all the information here, but I'm sure me and the average person see when someone escapes from a jail or something, then they get captured the next day or two, and they're in the area still.
Yes.
And it always amazes me. I'm like, if I just escape from something, I know where people are looking for me. The last thing I want to do is be anywhere near that area.
Yeah,
I never understand that. Is it a resource thing,
it's
or
it's a resource thing.
Why don't they get the heck out of Dodge from this?
There's no money. There's no true plan on what am I going to do when I step outside.
Okay.
It's, hey, we're going to have a good idea on how to get out of here, but when we get outside, they have no money.
Yeah.
You have no money.
Resources,
you know, there's and even if you went somewhere else, and the one thing that we learned real quick is family members don't like the police coming to their house.
Sure.
So when you keep knocking on their door, they're like, you know what? I'm going to call you and let you know if I see that guy because I'm sick of you being at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't want you out either.
Sure.
You know, that's one thing.
Well, they don't want that headache of potentially getting in trouble themselves to protect you.
But really, and you know, we see it every day. there's times whenever those who are always in trouble, it is a relief to family members to know that they're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And one is now you know that
safe,
they're
at
okay.
least.
Yeah, you're going to be okay.
Not addicted to drugs or on the streets. Or whatever.
You're not having to worry about that phone call in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, something just happened to you. We found your kid overdosed or deceased or worse things happen."
There is a chance to redeem them if they're in jail.
Yes,
and you know that.
Yep.
You never know that if they're out loose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do believe that we can rehabilitate some people, and I do believe you can't rehabilitate others. And so. Families know the difference between the two.
Sure.
Because they've been dealing with it forever. And
Probably much more than we have.
Much more than we have.
At their wits' end, much more than we are.
And families call the police or the sheriff or the state police or whatever law enforcement officer may be when they're at their wits' end.
Mm-hmm.
When we have no idea what they have dealt with up to that point. And,
Sure.
and by the time you call the police, especially on a family member, it's got to be something serious.
That's where a therapist comes in for his role of police officer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's one thing, like I said, when we go to these families' houses, we knock on the door and say, "Hey, is so-and-so here?" They said, "Man, we can't wait till you pick them up because we are tired of dealing with it and worrying about them and everything else." And
they're trying to live their lives too, and
absolutely.
this is interrupting that.
Absolutely.
And like you said, there no one because we in neighbors and small communities, we get nosy around each other.
Yep.
And so when the cops
Yep.
keep showing up at your house, the neighbors like, "Why do they keep
Yeah,
cops
what
showing
did
up
he
at
do?
Jones's
Yeah,
house?"
because it's not what are they there just question them? It's what did they do?
Exactly. So people don't want that either.
Right.
You're right. That's that beauty of small town side
Yes.
a little bit where
It really is.
I get it where you don't want everyone in your business, but. There's a good thing too.
It is.
It's and that's how neighborhood watches work and all that too.
Yeah.
Which
I watch Andy Griffith's show, and one thing about it is, and same thing with Bewitched, and you watch all these old movies, it's the nosy neighbors who keep your property still they keep it safe in your yard.
Sure.
Now you can leave things out when you have a nosy neighbor because they're going to call the cops as soon as someone stops in front of your house.
Sure.
And so I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And as a law enforcement officer, those are the people that help us get criminals put in jail, get property back because they notice everything. And so it's really important. It may seem like an inconvenience or like it's getting on your nerves as the person who is the neighbor to them, but I'm going to tell you, in the reality, it's better than any alarm system you have.
It's annoying till the day where it could save your life.
Yes, absolutely.
And you rather have that relationship and have it. And so don't have cookouts with them every week.
Yeah,
but be neighborly, be friendly,
yes,
and next thing you know, one day, and vice versa, you may need to do the same for them. Someone's creeping around their house, and you see, because again, the best people that know what's normal and what's not normal, the people who are there day in and day out. So,
and one thing you can guarantee is just step outside your door at 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to have people creeping around your neighborhood.
Gotcha.
It's almost a fact. I tell you, no matter where you live, somebody's out walking around or doing things. And speaking of other things that we've done, we had the guy who killed his girlfriend in Texas that was running from the Texas Rangers. Well, when he got here, he had no idea what Chaves County terrain is like. And he had no shoes on.
Oh, he was ill-equipped, huh?
Yeah, so when he went running across that pasture in the middle of the night, he was ready, But the best part about that whole thing was we got to show people why it is important for the Second Amendment to be in place.
Absolutely.
It's important for people. If you live outside the city limits, you live out in the country, you say, you know what, nobody comes to my house, nobody's ever here. I always leave my keys in my vehicles, leave my doors unlocked because we got too many vehicles, too many tractors, too many trucks to hang every key up, so we just leave them all in there. I promise you someone's going to visit you. One day, you don't know when, but they're going to come in and they're going to steal your stuff or even worse. So what we got to see was the old Crocodile Dundee thing where when they say that's not a knife, this is a knife. Well, that's what happens out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you got ranchers out there and farmers out there who
and they held them for a while before you guys because you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and my deputies were already there. State police was already in the area.
Yeah,
it was just a matter of somebody coming across them or us coming across them. But I will tell you this: I'm so thankful that none of them got hurt.
Yeah,
and I am thankful that that guy learned New Mexico is not the place to come to.
That scenario that person created came to a good conclusion.
It really did.
All things considered, that was the best case scenario for everyone involved.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's why I back the Second Amendment. I tell everybody, get the concealed carry permits. If you can't get the concealed carry permits on your property, you can carry a gun everywhere you want.
Yeah.
You have guns with you. Don't leave them in your cars because when they steal your car, they've got a nice gun now.
Sure.
Don't put it in your purse because your purse is what the thief is after. Keep it on you at all times and protect you. That's your deal.
So basically, like if you do like the farm and the vehicle thing, like I know a lot of people have if you have a concealed carry or something, that like you can buy things to put in the dashboard and all that.
But when you get out,
take it with you.
Yes,
keep it with
absolutely.
you. That's great to keep it handy if you're on the road or whatever. But the moment you exit that vehicle, for any amount of time, go ahead and make sure you put that gun on your person.
Exactly.
And I would imagine if you have to go into a building or something and that won't let you take it in,
they'll never know.
Or at least
they'll never know.
I don't know what else. Maybe keep it in a locked something or another. So if they steal the car, maybe it's a little harder to get the gun out of the locked thing. I don't know.
So one of the things that I can say is don't carry the old Clint Eastwood 44 Magnum that's got the long barrel on it that you can't conceal.
No.
Always go, and right now you can go down and buy some very nice guns, large caliber guns. If you want the 45 or the 40s or the 9s,
something with more stopping power.
But you can go and you can buy a nice little 380, which works. It's a great up close and personal gun, and you can carry that in your pocket. Get the one with a nice safety on it. You can carry it in your pocket. No one will know that you have that gun. And I'm going to tell you, the biggest problem is whenever somebody wants to do show and tell. When they say, hey, come here, let me show you what I got.
Sure.
Now everybody's going to know you have a gun.
Right.
So the easiest way is always have it.
Keep your light under a basket.
Yep, exactly. And I'll tell you, if you ever see me anywhere, and I don't care if I'm in shorts, I don't care if I'm in sweats, I always have a gun.
Yeah.
And because you never know what that other person is thinking.
Absolutely.
And so you got to be ready to protect yourself or others at all times. And
it's far better to deal with the consequences while you're still upright afterwards than when you're dead on the ground because we know the outcome there.
When the city is presenting you an award for being a hero, for protecting somebody, it's all worth it.
It's just and I think we talked a little bit about it last time. It's like the last time you heard because it was in the news with the subway shooting in Albuquerque a couple weeks before they'd had. That's a wonderful thing to me.
It is.
Because the more the average person stands up for themselves, the less opportunistic criminals will be about that. Because if there's a remote chance in the back of their head that someone's going to blow them away when they walk into places, they're going to be that. Crime is a thing of convenience. It always is. They're going to take the path of least resistance, like water.
That's right. Easiest target is where they're going.
Yeah.
And we've seen an uprise in drug use. Fentanyl is bad right now, and fentanyl is killing people. We're getting Narcan. We're getting more training on Narcan. We're doing lots of things, but really, the worst part about that is that this is for the ones that we're carrying are mostly for our officers because they come in contact with that. You can be dead.
Sure.
Almost, and it's going to have to be there. We watched the clip on dangerous. San Diego police officer who just opened up the back of a truck and the stuff came out, just a little bit of it, and they had to use 6 things of Narcan to keep him alive.
Wow.
And he just fell over like that. So
that's scary.
And you say, well, I don't use Narcan. I mean, you don't use fentanyl, but people are putting it on other drugs. They're breaking them up. They're sprinkling things. They're soaking it in it. But the other thing that's so important to know is it's stamped to look like oxycodone or any other prescription drug.
Sure.
And so it's dangerous.
Well, I mean, that's when we talk about the world of illegal narcotics.
Yes.
They don't use quality product standards
they
like
do
the FDA or the Better Business Bureau or anybody talks
That's
about.
exactly right.
And so and correct me if I'm wrong if I say anything, but when we talk about fentanyl, I think it originally started with like cocaine and those shipments where and of course the cartels are a business.
Yes.
And if their numbers don't match, even though they're making billions, they're like, hey, wait a minute, our cocaine numbers are down. If the crops are down, guess what? They start filling in the cocaine with the fentanyl to make it
lucrative.
Yes. And then they'll cut it. It's the same thing with like crack cocaine. That's how crack cocaine happened, because cocaine comes in and they're like, wait a minute, if we do our little deal to make
Pour
it
some
crack,
kerosene on
this
it.
kilo, we can sell it 4 times and make 3 times the money and everything else. And that's what's going on. They don't care that it kills you. They care that they're selling the product.
Yeah, they only care about your dollar.
Yeah.
It's
at least we could, when we're talking about marijuana now and the legal side, at least when you go to pharmacies and dispensaries, that's regulated. That's stuff that at least okay, I'm getting just marijuana. I'm
You're not getting
fentanyl and all the other stuff. So not, you do your own, drugs and this and that, but this is why we talk about the drugs on the street and why that's so dangerous, because you think you're getting one thing, but you may or may not be getting that, and people are dying because of that.
We've seen that with when they were just laying out the marijuana and then they were sprinkling ecstasy. And when you're shaking it like this, there is no one side may get more or one side may get less, because as you're going through, the bag gets emptier, it's less on this side. So you don't know. There's no, like you said, it's not measured in any way.
Sure.
So it's a very dangerous thing, and we're getting trained on that, but we want to make sure our kids who have access to even touching an area where if one of their family members is using this product and they put it on the table or they put it anywhere and that kid comes along and gets any residue, they're done. They're going to die.
I kind of quick question, same subject but off subject. You notice like when you see like some of these black smoke things, I think we just saw one yesterday. Yeah. Are some of these like, because I think there's one that's like out in the county there. Yeah. Are these some of these like meth labs and things that are cooking up, or is it other stuff like that? Because I'm thinking we're seeing some of that going on in the county.
Well,
right
we
now.
do have meth labs that we're hunting down, but one thing is when you see really black smoke, usually that's a rubber.
Gotcha.
And so you have guys that are burning the rubber off of your copper. Off of your lines.
So they're trying to get that.
Yeah,
so they're not cooking. They're trying to get material to make money.
Yeah. So
indirectly related.
So they go out and they'll steal your copper wiring, especially in these places like, it's been a while back, but when they were bringing in these new housing areas, they were running the cables underground. Well, these guys would come out and steal all that cable.
Yeah. We have radio, our radio.
Oh, yeah.
And they love the radio sites.
Oh, yes. I'll tell you. So, so we see that. So they're burning the rubber off of those things. So that's what we see a lot of.
Okay, that's
so it's like a tire. You see guys burning tires, not so black smoke. That's what that is.
Well, I hate to be the burden of bad news, but do y'all remember hearing about the pit fires over in Iraq and Kuwait?
Oh, yeah.
And all the GIs that are dealing with issues?
Yep.
Granted, there's more stuff in there, but it's the stuff you're burning right now.
Absolutely.
These people are getting basically Agent Orange with but so if you want to go ahead and start burning tires in your front yard, you're exposing yourself to that.
And your neighbors to it.
And your neighbors and everybody else.
So that's why I tell everybody, call us if you see people out burning. To do a burn in the county anyway, you have to call it in, and you have to go through the environmental department because you can't burn any rubber. There's certain things, no styrofoam.
Sure, it's all toxic.
It's all toxic. Yeah. So you have to contact them and get permission to burn whatever you're going to burn, and then they let us know, and that way we're not sending the fire department out to your house.
Sure.
For what's considered.
And obviously, people burning tires to get copper are doing those procedures.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's just it's really a crazy thing, but it takes so long. That rubber is on those wires pretty good. You can't get it off, so you throw it in the fire, it melts right off, and the copper wires scoop it right out of
Sure.
there. So. But yeah, it's crazy.
We're running short on time, but I do want to ask one more. I know you guys posted this one a couple days ago about a gentleman from, I think it was Indiana. He's a sex.
Yes.
I guess he didn't register as a sex offender, and I guess he committed sex crimes in Indiana.
He did.
And I don't know if he fled
absconded.
here
Yes,
or
he did.
okay. So yeah, I was just kind of curious what was kind of some of the skinny on that story.
So he committed sex crimes against kids where he was from, and then rather than facing what he was going to deal with there, he didn't register, he didn't do anything. He fled to good old Roswell, New Mexico, where everyone accepts everybody.
Yeah. Does he have family in this area? Or,
I don't know.
How did he end up here, I wonder?
I don't know. But I do know that once he got here, he was, he got a job. He just didn't do he just didn't register.
So he'd been
with
here a
us.
while, I guess, established a residency, basically.
So we were able to, we got called on it. We were able to get it done, got him arrested, and we appreciate once again, the support of the public. That's why I put it out on Facebook immediately, because people are like, that's him right there. And that, I'll tell you, Facebook has been one of the best things that I have done for the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. And what I mean by that is it's uncensored.
Sure.
It's left to be very open to comments or whatever they make. It's okay.
Yeah. And on top of it, people just unsolicitedly air their dirty laundry on Facebook.
They really do.
And it makes your investigations a heck of a lot easier when you put it all out there for everybody on Facebook.
Yeah. It is. So so it has been a successful thing. But I truly, my thing is I believe that people need to know what's going on around them.
Absolutely.
Keep your head on a swivel. Always be looking around. Don't live in paranoia, but be prepared.
Sure.
And you have so much at risk.
Your life, I always say when you come in your life, it's hope for the best,
right.
Prepare for the worst.
If
you kind of live that as a mantra through your life a little bit,
absolutely,
you're going to be all right.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. And when nothing happens, you're like, man, this was a good day.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying every day when we're out here at the fair. I'm watching people coming from other counties coming to our area. The fair brought in all those kids from Albuquerque and did the showing on their animals.
Yeah.
And it's just the craziest thing to me for you to lose out as a city on something that your revenue is based on. Albuquerque's revenue is based on the fair, the balloon fiestas, and everything. And I was hoping, hey, tell them to do the same thing for the balloon fiesta, because we'll get them all down here and we will have balloons everywhere.
We'll take your revenue.
Yeah, we'll take your revenue, and we'll take the sight and the view. So, and we don't have to travel nowhere. So it's been a good thing. And like I said, I just want you to know all the law enforcement agencies are working great together. The surrounding counties are doing a good job. My undersheriff was in Lee County yesterday up in Hobbs for a parent-teacher conference for one of my deputies who's in the academy right now.
Nice.
They do that. It's pretty neat.
Gotcha.
It's pretty works
Gets
out good.
How's my boy doing?
Yeah, how they doing? Come in. They bring in everything just like a parent-teacher conference.
That's cool.
And
I love that.
so she's at the top of the team right now. She's doing fantastic up there.
So she's kicking butt.
But it's good to go up there and see these other guys. And like I said, Corey Helton's a great man, and I appreciate for what he does. And so we go down there and visit with him. And it's good.
It's each other's future because he knows his job is to make sure the people that leave his academy are trained to serve the badge and serve the people. And
that's right.
And to be honest, every person that comes out of there it's a reputation on him. And I know you as a sheriff and other sheriffs are looking back and saying, I'm getting better deputies
people
coming out of this every time, or better peace officers.
Yep, they're better quality. And and you hit it right on the head. I tell everybody, if you want to be a law enforcement officer, we want you. But your number one priority or goal should be to serve this community.
Absolutely.
And that means that you're going to come out and you're going to do community events. You're going to be a people person. You're going to be involved in things. And then the fun part comes when we go out and bring the bad guy to justice.
Sure.
So all that's there, but you have to remember all of that work, hard work, sometimes horrible scenes that you're going to see, it all pays off when you go out to places like the fair and you see people walking around, laughing and enjoying life because they know they're safe.
Well, and it's and then we've said this 1,000 times. We got to go here, but no police officer can do their job effectively without the support of the community. It's impossible for them to do that.
Absolutely.
So events like the fair, events like all these fun events, and you see sheriff's department, law enforcement out and about there.
Yeah.
That's all the goodwill, the community partnership. So when you kind of see everybody on equal footing and talking to people and shooting the breeze and just talking to them like the average Janes and Joes out there. So if you establish that relationship when times are good, then when a bad scenario goes down, they're on your team to help solving it versus being adversarial.
I see that every week when I go to church. People of all walks of life come together to celebrate God. And while they're there and everyone is talking, it's as though you're one. And then, you go and you do your own things, but they also know you as a person, and they know you truly care about what you do. And if you go and you arrest somebody or you're doing something, it's nothing more than me doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with anything. You put yourself in that position. My job is to come.
This is why you were put in the position you were here to do, and anything less than that would be dereliction of duty.
Absolutely. Yep. That's exactly right. So follow the Chaves County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. We're putting lots of good stuff on there. And just keep up to date on everything. I believe that it was very beneficial when it come to people knowing that there's escapees or people running from us in your
quick
area.
Do they turn around when you get the word out? Odds are pretty good. Within 24 hours, that person's in
Absolutely.
custody.
And wondering how or who told on me.
Yep.
How'd they find out? Who told on me? That's the first question.
Well, fortunately for most of us, criminals aren't always the best prepared, and that helps us out immensely.
Absolutely. And that comes to being an opportunist. And so we do appreciate you, and thank you for having me on here again.
Sheriff. Thank you and all your deputies, and give him an attaboy when you see him out at the fair this week. And I know, like I said, the mounted folks are out there. I think they love when people interact with them and talk to the horses.
Oh, yeah.
And, obey the officer's commands on what to do and what not to do with the horse, because that's a working animal. But they love to see the people and interact with the horses and all that.
So everybody's out there doing a great job. Go to the fair. Put your money back into this community, and we appreciate you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. We'll see you next time. All right?
Absolutely.
Probably see you this weekend, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, you will. Yeah.
All right, 8:57. Let's do a quick break before, regular news here. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. October is National Crime Prevention Month, designated as such with the intent of empowering citizens to help prevent crime in the community and make their neighborhoods a little bit safer. Toward that goal, the Roswell Police Department is encouraging everyone to be mindful of some simple steps you can take to help reduce crime in your neighborhood. Many thefts, police say, are reported from homes where people leave their garage door open all night. Also, a number of people have become victims when they leave their car unlocked and a thief just opens the door and steals their personal items. The city of Roswell hosting a celebration event for the all-inclusive park facility. The celebration will take place on Friday, October 22nd, from 2 to 2:45 at the southeast end of the Recreation and Aquatic Center parking lot. And New Mexico is preparing to welcome 400 refugees who fled Afghanistan amid the withdrawal of U.S. troops in August, and groups are seeking volunteers and donations to help with the effort. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell last week, another sign that the U.S. job market and economy continue their steady recovery from last year's coronavirus recession. Unemployment claims fell by 38,000 to 326,000, the first drop in 4 weeks, the Labor Department said Thursday. The British government said Thursday that it will relax travel rules further next week, a move that will open up many long-distance holiday destinations to travelers for the first time since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic a year and a half ago. On Wall Street, the Dow up 338 points, closing at 34,754. The Nasdaq up 152 points to 14,654, and the S&P 500 added 36 points to 4,399. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Now that it is clear the Senate...
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Party line vote. Senate approved increasing the debt limit by nearly $500 billion, but only temporarily to December. Earlier, despite agreement on the temporary measure, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell...
The Senate is moving toward the plan I laid out yesterday to spare the American people a manufactured crisis.
And then Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer...
Republicans played a dangerous and risky partisan game, and I am glad that their brinksmanship did not work.
Took verbal swipes at each other as this round of sparring came to an end. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Looks like House Speaker Pelosi's poll numbers are following those of President Biden. They're sinking fast.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is the best-known leader of Congress and the least popular, with more voters now rating her unfavorably than at any time since she was chosen to lead by her party. Her Republican counterpart, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, has better ratings but is much less well-known to voters. A new Rasmussen Reports national telephone and online survey finds that only 35% of likely U.S. voters now have a favorable view of Pelosi, while 60% regard her unfavorably. This includes 19% with a very favorable opinion of the San Francisco Democrat and 51% with a very unfavorable one. Only 4% have no opinion of her. Bernie Bennett reporting.
And the opinion of the latest jobs report, disappointing. America's employers added just 194,000 jobs last month. Far fewer than the 488,000 that many economists had been looking for. The unemployment rate, 4.8%. That is a sharp drop from a 5.2% jobless rate in the month of August. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 16 points. The Nasdaq, 20 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Right now, people are home with their pets more often, and I think especially with the shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue.
Nala's got some skin issues. He gets really going and scratching.
Excessive shedding, a lot of just scratching and itching.
Jigging, scratching, and itching and biting. On top of that, he was starting to get black buildup in his ears.
DINOVITE.com.
I just heard the Dynovite commercial so many times that I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
We started Dynovite, and in our first stock, we noticed a difference, especially with the shedding.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
We've got 4 dogs, all different ages, all different sizes, and they've all just responded really well to the Dynovite, and they all love it.
We will be using Dynovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
We order our Dynovite from Dynovite.com. DINOVITE.com.
Aid workers say escalating fighting in northern Yemen between the government and Houthi rebels, forcing nearly 10,000 people to flee in recent weeks.
The International Organization for Migration said the worsening violence in the Marib region was destabilizing the lives of thousands of people and leading to civilian deaths and injuries. In one district, more than 30,000 people have been cut off from essential supplies. The aid workers say many of those who've been forced to flee are now enduring appalling conditions. They talk of drastically mounting levels of need. The Houthi rebels have recently stepped up their efforts to capture Marib, which is the government's last stronghold in the north of the country.
The BBC's Alan Johnston. A 100-year-old man on trial for his alleged role as a Nazi SS guard at a concentration camp during World War II told a German court he's innocent. Townhall.com. A judge has blocked a huge California development over wildfire danger.
Thursday's ruling comes after the state attorney general and others objected, saying portions of the largest proposed residential housing development in San Diego County's history would be too prone to wildfires. That and a similar recent challenge in Northern California are the first known times in the nation where a state has intervened to argue its interests in preventing wildfires overrides a county's interest in building more housing. Rhonda Roxner reporting.
A bomb has gone off at a crowded mosque packed with Shiite Muslim worshippers in northern Afghanistan. Taliban police officials report the blast killed or wounded at least 100 people in that mosque. You got on Wall Street this hour, stocks are mixed. Right now, the Dow is up 14 points, while the NASDAQ 19 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Friday.
Yes, you
It's
made
Friday.
it. You did it, everybody.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. Soak it in.
Yeah. I'm although I got a busy weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're driving. You're going out of town for a couple days. Yeah, I do. I gotta have a busy weekend. I was just seeing that the other. I was thinking, I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Yeah. So busy weekend.
Couple things.
Yeah.
It's good though. Idle hands, devil's playthings. You know.
Yeah. I will be out at the fair tomorrow night at the booth at the American Legion Post 61 booth in the commercial building. See me there. Come and give us money and
catch me inside. How about that?
Yeah. Catch me inside. There you go. Wonder what that person's up to.
Funnel cake. Oh no! You probably shouldn't.
Are they famous now and like
Danielle Brigioli, aka the Cash Me Outside girl. See, I've because of a show that I listen to called The Bonfire, I've kept real close tabs on this young lady.
So yeah, what's she doing now?
So she just recently turned 18, and the day she turned 18, she launched her OnlyFans page. The day after her OnlyFans page went live, she became the most subscribed OnlyFans, or the most subscribed to OnlyFans page in the history of OnlyFans.
Why?
Because everybody's curious.
About what?
I guess they wanted to cash her insides. I don't know.
I can't remember. Is she hot or something? What is going on there?
I guess. I mean, she's...
Is she doing racy things
so,
on
okay.
it? What is she doing?
Right after the whole Dr. Phil thing, she launched her rap career. She became a rapper known as... Now, I know it's Bad Baby, but the way it's written is Bahad Bahabi. It's Bhad Bhaby.
Is she from the Middle East or something?
I guess. Bahad Bahabi. So she's a rapper. She got a pretty decent amount of fame off of her rap career. She's got skills. She's not bad at what she does.
Good.
Yeah, but I don't know. Then she launched her OnlyFans page, and that kind of went huge. And I guess that's what she's doing now.
I know, and maybe it's jealousy. I don't know. How does someone who has no real skills get famous and rich? That just boggles me.
Dr. Phil. The answer is Dr. Phil. You become a meme, and you accept the fact that you've become a meme. Now, granted, in the years since, it's also come out that I guess some untoward things happened at the ranch that she was sent to from the show. It's like Dr. Phil, like after all the episode on it, he sent her to a 2 weeks of like boot camp thing to, whatever. Apparently, she was like one of the ranch hands messed with her a bit. There's stories that have come out of that. So
okay,
it's kind of a complicated story.
Man,
for one Danielle Brigioli, but she's keeping busy. She's doing fine. She bought her mama a house. It was like right after the whole thing went down, she became famous. She got like her first hit song, and the first thing she did was she bought her mom a house, or she paid off her mom's house.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So this is like your mom takes you on Dr. Phil to talk about what a problem you are, and then you pay your mom's house off to.
Is she like the Paris Hilton of our generation?
No. Because Paris Hilton is rich from her dad.
Yeah, but she's famous for nothing.
True.
Other than being her dad's a Hilton.
Well,
I mean, she did her own things there in the tape. But,
that's what I was going to say. She's famous for a couple other reasons.
All that got fame. She got that notoriety because she's Paris Hilton.
Right.
Like before the tape, she was famous. The tape put her in the stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? She was known for going up and weren't they paying her to show up at clubs just to show up?
Yeah. If they're for a quick
even
minute,
before the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a common thing.
No one's paying me to show up at a club.
Yeah, but you're not Instagram famous. You're not Insta hot. That's the thing, dude. I would argue that Kylie Jenner is probably this generation's Paris Hilton. I was going to say Kim Kardashian, but yeah, Kylie Jenner I would say, because again, didn't really do anything to her, for herself. She did launch her makeup line, granted, but it was everybody else's makeup. She just slapped her name onto it.
Well, see, that's it. That's not.
And now she's a self-made billionaire. She's actually the youngest self-made billionaire ever.
She's famous for the name. I don't know. But anyway,
Same thing with Paris Hilton. She's famous for the name.
Yeah.
I'm
just waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, all right, when are we going to be tired of this? And
no, we won't, because we'll produce another generation of them. It's fine. It's okay. Because I'm sure that one of the Kardashians will have a child or has had children, and they'll come up. Their time will come. It's fine.
Okay, is that the same girl who said she didn't want to get a job on Dr. Phil?
Probably.
And that was the meme? The whole thing?
The meme was the cash me outside. How about that?
Okay, that was the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what...
Yeah, it was such a meme that she became known as the Cash Me Outside girl.
Okay, that must have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what, 7 years ago, 8 years ago?
About that. Well, she was like...
Well, she's 18 now.
12. So yeah,
about 6 years ago. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, here's what's on tap for this hour of the show.
Yes.
Not the Cash Me Outside girl.
Right.
But Elliot Rodriguez, he'll be here.
You can cash him inside.
Catch him on the show here in just a few minutes with CMG Financial.
Talk about your cash.
That's right. Well, he'll talk about how you can get a home.
How you can cash a home.
How cash in your savings account. That's how he catch you.
How you can cash yourself inside your new home.
Right,
how about that?
This ain't working.
I'm trying. I'm going to shoehorn it in.
It's no egg salad, I'm telling you.
Got a lot of shinola in this bit.
But Elliot will join us. We'll talk with CMG and talk home ownership and first-time buyers. That's his jam. So stick around. He wants to talk to you. So Elliot will join us here in just a few. We can do none of this without thanking the fine folks at McDonald's. They do this every single Friday for many moons now. They've been providing us with delicious breakfast treats each and every Friday. Big thank you to them for doing that for us. Sheriff fueled him up, ready to take on the county's criminals, thanks to McDonald's. He got fed up here. So big thank you. He got fed up here with me, and he got fed up with McDonald's. Just kidding. I caught when I said that. But big thank you to McDonald's. Of course, they are hiring right now for all of their McDonald's, including the new one when it's done here on the South Main. But all the others, I believe even Artesia Carlsbad, too. If you go to mchire.com, you can go to their website and fill out an application and get that taken care of. And as I say every time, the Snowburger family, when they run these McDonald's, it's you look at the management team there with Nick and his staff, and a lot of those, almost all of them, those staff, they start at the beginning there at McDonald's, working their way in, and starting out as a working fries or working the burgers or cashiering, and now they're part of the management team and part of the upper echelon of the McDonald's management here. So definitely opportunities there. Go to mchire.com today. All right, it is 9:14. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot for most of our weekend, but we will be cooling off on Sunday with cold front moving in. No rain coming up for a while, though. We'll be in the low 90s with a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, partly cloudy, upper 50s, and then breezy again on Saturday, sunny, and it looks like mid-90s. 80 and sunny on Sunday. We'll stay in the 80s Monday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 63 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds are out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today. Expect a high of 93 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with an overnight low of 56. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, a warm one tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 96 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 in the morning, picking up 15 to 20 for tomorrow afternoon. Saturday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 57. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday, cooler and windy. Mostly sunny, high of only 81 on Sunday. Winds will be breezy out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour early in the day. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. For your Columbus Day on Monday, sunny and 84. And then 84 and breezy on Tuesday. Back into the 70s, 76 for a high on Wednesday. And then back up near 80 on Thursday of next week. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we'll have Elliot Rodriguez with CMG Financial join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The 99th Annual Eastern New Mexico State Fair is here, and that means all the food, the fun, the rides, and of course, the amazing concerts. Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Don't miss American Idol Season 11 contender Colton Dixon. Then Friday night starting at 6, it's an evening of some of the best in red dirt country, including Sherry Rowe, the Dirty River Boys, Sundance Head, if you're gonna love her, leave her wild, and Jody Nix.
Play your best for me, twin fiddles, turn me on.
Best of all, your admission to these amazing concerts is absolutely free with your admission to the fair. Find out more. Go to enmsf.com for all the need-to-know info on the 99th Annual Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
You trust your locally owned Big O Tires with your keys, because we know that they're more than keys. They're how you get by, how you get in, how you get to work, how you get to your family, and how you do what you love. These keys are essential to your life and where you want to go. At Big O, we understand the importance of your keys and what they mean to you, which is why when you choose to give us yours, you can trust us to treat you fairly, get you back on the road as quickly as possible, and always give you a good deal. Now through October 10th, save up to $100 instantly on select sets of 4 in-stock tires with installation purchase. Because when you want the best for your vehicle, finding someone you know and trust is key. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Kansas, and Minnesota are company owned.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted. New Mexico Cattle Growers Association is the voice of New Mexico's beef industry since 1914, representing producers from the Roundhouse in Santa Fe to the halls of Congress, wherever the arena, regulatory, statutory, or the courts. New Mexico Cattle Growers Association is here to serve the livestock industry faithfully, supporting our youth, the leaders of tomorrow, through scholarships, internships, and heritage contests. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, or online at nmagriculture.org.
Relaxing with family, laughing with friends, and curling up with your cat. Great furniture brings joy to your life. If you're not feeling the joy, it's time for a visit to Glenn's for fresh new furniture that will brighten up your whole world. Stylish living room furniture that's the most comfortable ever made, and smart dining room sets that will even make the food taste better. Their selection is great and delivery is always free. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, bringing joy since 1953.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from CMG Financial, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Roswell.
How are you today?
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Have you been out to the fair yet this week? Or
I have not yet.
Okay. I didn't know if you going to try to go this weekend? Or
most likely. I was there before everything started because
Gotcha.
my wife wanted to get into the art and craft stuff.
Okay.
But I haven't gone since, everything started.
Well, good deal. Well, the truth is he's probably busy helping people, doesn't have time to get out there to do social things at the fair. But maybe he'll work some time in this weekend.
You ain't lying about time. I mean, me and Ted goes 12 rounds when it come about time management and stuff like that. And I told him, wait a minute. How can it be time management when I'm working the whole entire time, 24 hours?
It's like I managed to find some time. That's what
that's the time management we need. I need to some time for myself. No, and my wife, she's like I always say, she's my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah,
because she's been there, and she's sometimes kind of like, you need to change another job or something because you need time for me.
She needs to shut you down for a little bit. She steps in and wrangles you in a little bit there. I think all husbands have that going on at some point too, because we need it, to be honest. Most of us do.
We need to work.
But folks, if you're not familiar with our previous conversations with Elliot, Elliot at CMG Financial, he is the man that can help you get the money to pay for your home. He's the guy that helps families obtain their mortgages, help them get all of the financial aspects of a home purchase for families, getting that done. One thing that I think Elliot has a special niche for is our first-time home buyers, especially families that think that they can't afford it right now, and Elliot comes in and says, oh, yeah, you're paying a rent right now. You can afford that. Let's turn that into money working for you instead of paying somebody else's mortgage. Mm-hmm. Let's do that paying for yourself. And that's where he helps and creates plans. And for folks that are not there yet, he helps them get there. And I say this in third person as I look at him, but this is what Elliot.
No, yeah. I mean, I love helping people that they never own a home. Yeah. Obviously, if you want to buy a house, I'm here for you just the same. Sure. Okay, if you already own a home or whatever.
If you're an expert or new first time, Elliot's got you covered.
But you're right. I mean, I love helping the first time home buyers because it's such a rewarding, outcome in the end.
Well,
So,
because in essence, you're teaching them a game plan for life.
And I hope they listen. This is one of the things that you and I go on all the time. If they listen to what I tell them from the very beginning, and especially if they're having a little trouble with credit, and they kind of fix it, and I tell them do this and do that, please continue doing that afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Saving money is a must, and after you buy a house, you should continue saving money.
Sure.
It doesn't mean you need to put tons of money away because I told you to. It's just more like save some money for the rainy days. If you were ever sick, if you ever get laid off, okay. I mean, that's happening. COVID-19. A lot of people were like, COVID-19 came, people lost their jobs, some kind of stuff. All right. I mean, people are not getting fired; they're getting laid off. It's happening. Okay,
Absolutely,
all across the board in every business. Okay, and that's one of the things that is tough. But at the same time, there's more jobs out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it may be a little what we call it on steroids. Like it's a little more than usual, but at the same time, there's also more jobs available as well.
If you plan well, you're able to weather those storms.
Exactly.
And even if you have to go to another job that pays less, if you're saving and doing things like you're supposed to, then you at least can use that as a stopgap to bring in some income until you can get back to careers paying what you're supposed to be getting.
Exactly.
And that's and this is the thing I love to say to people is we love to help others and say, hey, I'll give you this, I'll give you what you need food, I'll give you food and all this, and we are willing to help other people. But when it comes to your finances and your own lifestyle, you should be willing to do that for yourself. And this is what Elliot's really at the end of the day trying to teach you. I mean, the house is the symptom, or a house is what like the paper thing or the tangible thing you're looking at and saying that's what I want. But he's not giving you a lesson to buy a house. He's giving you a lesson to run your household finances so that this house is the springboard to the next thing you want it to be. Whether it's this house and you're going to remodel, renovate it, make it your forever home, or if this is your first home that you're saying, you know what, this is going to be the one we start our family with, but in a couple of years we're going to need another bedroom, we're going to need a bigger house or a better neighborhood or whatever your things are. But that's what Elliot's building for you, is that plan so wherever you want to take it, whether you want to move every 10 years or 2 years or stay in one house for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that could be your forever home. I mean, there you go. I mean,
this is he helps you get a plan together that takes you in the direction you want to take it in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we need to adjust, from whatever is happening, and whatever is happening in our country, do the best we can. I mean, I spoke here before. I mean, this is USA. This is America. The land of the free. There may be a lot of crazy things happening, but still the land of the free.
Absolutely,
okay?
Yeah.
And the goal is to go and reach out for your dream. And if your dream is buying a home, which I will hope that's the dream for everybody, okay? Because that's one of the biggest things you're ever going to do in your life.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody needs a home. You
gotta live somewhere.
You need to live somewhere. You're either renting, living, shacking up with family, whatever it may be, okay? The time to get your home, like I always said, is now.
Yeah.
If we can get it now, let's put the plan in place. Why we cannot get it now, and let's fix it and get it there.
Sure. Because once you're in, you're in.
You're in. You got it. It's yours.
You're building towards you. Once you get that now, and you're building to bigger, better things. So even if that first house is not your dream house, or not even the house that you really want to spend a whole lot of time in, but guess what? It's your stake in the game. Now you put a little money in it. Maybe you look at it like a live-in flip for a little bit. It's like, all right, I got to live here 3 years before I can sell this thing again.
Exactly.
But in that 3 years, I'm going to make it. I'm going to appreciate the value of it as much as I can. And as I'm paying the monthly payments here, I'm building up some equity. And then in 3 years, I've got either enough equity or enough value in this property where I can turn it around and make enough money to be in a bigger, nicer house.
Exactly.
And that's really how it works.
I mean, my first home that I ever bought, I thought that was going to be my forever home. It was my first marriage. Okay. I was still married to the wife that I thought it was going to be my forever wife.
Yeah, no one has plans of it being different at the time,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
exactly. And I remember, and the wonderful woman that I'm married to right now today, she actually got to live in that house. So I was thinking that was going to be the forever house, but I bought another house and I rented that when I ended up coming back to that house.
Sure.
So it's very funny. The point the reason that I brought that back in is because you buy a home, hopefully that is your forever home.
Yeah.
But if it happens not to be, like you just said, maybe in 3 years, 5 years, maybe you have more babies, so
life happens.
Things take control and move forward, right?
Absolutely.
If that happens, then you grow, you are bigger. So now maybe you need a bigger home. If you do the right thing from yourself, you'll be okay to buy another home later. Okay.
You're setting yourself up for whatever direction your life goes in later.
In this country, I'm sorry, if I understand bad things happen to some people.
Absolutely.
Okay. But I don't believe oh my God, the world's going to end kind of deal because this happens to me. Well, you know what? Shake it off, move on. Let's go on to a
little preparation, little bit plan of action. You're able to navigate whatever goofiness happens.
I mean, I come from very humble beginnings. I mean, I'm an emancipated minor. I started from nothing.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and I done.
So you've been on your own for more than the average person.
Oh, yes. I started, when I was 17 years old on my own, And one of the things that a lot of us, and I have to include us together because sometimes we forget where we live. We live in an awesome country that gives us so many opportunities. It's up to us to do what we need to do.
Right.
If you have some support and, as you go to here and there, that's awesome. Okay. I give thank you to God and thank you to some of the people that have supported me throughout my, my career and everything that I've done because I came from nowhere to where I am now and I've done pretty well, thank God, and I can complain about some things, but guess what? Nobody listens when you complain. Okay. So it's best to talk about the good stuff.
Unless you're willing to listen to their complaints.
Exactly. And sometimes that's never good.
Right.
But the thing is, this is the dreams to come true is up to you. And they're there for the taking. And that is a fact. Okay. I know our country is going through a turmoil over a lot of things for the past couple of years. Okay. And it's not going to be over anytime soon. We're still dealing with stuff.
Absolutely.
And I think we're still evolving and figuring out how it's going to be done.
Sure.
And, unfortunately, some of the leaders that we have maybe have taken good choices and bad choices. It's a mix of everything.
Sure.
So the point is this. You can't wait on them.
It
has to be on you to be able to take it to the next level to take care of yourself.
Well, and this is how people succeed no matter what.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at during the previous administration, you look at the finances in the world and things are. Now we're in a different administration with a different world. Inflation's up, prices are up. But people that prepare and just kind of have a plan and are consistent, yeah, sure, that might, it stinks and impacts. Like, man, I'm paying more for gas or whatever it is. But because you planned and you have money, you're able to weather when less money's coming in or more money's coming in. This is the difference. This is how families. When you look at someone, they got the 2 cars and the 3-bedroom house with the picket fence and the 2.5 kids and all that. That success happens because of planning. You start out, young and hungry, and you're doing everything. You're busting your hump to try to get established. Then life happens. You meet people and you get married, and all these things happen. And but if you still try to live your finances like you're a single person in your 20s, when you're now married and have a family, you're going to be in a lot of problems and a lot of trouble. You're going to find yourself feeding yourself hand to mouth, waiting paycheck to paycheck, trying to do all that. And a lot of people live that way. A lot of people that you thought had more money than they did live that way.
Correct.
There are people. It's not always about the income you bring in. I know a lot of people that make 10 times more money than I do, but they're broke because they don't know how to spend it. And that's what it's all about. You can be a millionaire and still be broke.
That's true.
And if you don't know what you're doing. And this is what we're talking about. You take the same ideology that the people that are millionaires and just the discipline of it, and you apply that in your own world, and you're going to find that whenever they're on the news and this and job losses, that's like, man, this stinks. But guess what? It's not impacting you because you have a plan.
Exactly.
And that's the difference between success and failure in this country.
Yeah, I remember back in 2006 and 7 when we had that issue with mortgages and all that. It's funny. That's actually when I started when I became a lender. Okay, which is funny because that means I went It's in. Okay, so I didn't walk in to see how cold the water was or nothing. I went all the way in, and I was a new lender, and I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know anything about predatory lending and all that stuff. But the reality is, it happened.
Sure.
Okay. There were in the lending part there were bad things, and in the borrowing side there were bad things. So it's a mix of both. You know?
Absolutely.
And the thing that it was funny is that I came into the market at that time. So going through all that and learning how to do it the right way after the fact, okay, it taught me a lot of lessons, and that had took me for a long time. And I used to sell vacuum cleaners, so I used to do a bunch of loans, personal loan and this and that.
Sure.
So I was like, I want to do bigger loans.
Right. You want to
never in my life thought I was going to be helping people buy houses.
Yeah, you went from like $1,500 loans to hundreds of $1,000s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like, what is that, 1,000-fold? Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you follow, your path of what you need, and you have a dream, and the dream should be to buy a house, I guess. Okay. Because if you're renting or whatever, or living with somebody, you actually have a job and you're doing the right thing for yourself, you should be able to buy a house.
Sure.
And that's what we are here for.
And that's where, if you're not quite there yet, because you learn credit the hard way, and you got a 600 or 500 credit score right now, and you're trying to get into something where lenders will talk to you. That's where Elliot will say, you know what? Give me 6 months. Give me do this, this, and this.
Sometimes it's sooner than that.
Yeah, sometimes it's less. It may be a month or a couple of weeks. Maybe it's a couple phone calls and getting some stuff off the credit report that shouldn't be there to begin with. But sometimes it does require creating a plan, because that's the key. Is if you've got yourself into a situation where you've got more money going out than coming in, and that's what happens if you're not organized or at least on top of it. That's what happens, and that's because if again, this is going back to treating your finances like a single person versus being a family.
Exactly.
When you're a single person, every financial thing's pretty much going through you. So you kind of got, all right, I know I spent $10 at McDonald's the other day. It means I can't spend as much here. And so, but when you get more people, and then it's like, oh, what do you want to do for dinner? I don't feel like cooking. Let's go out tonight. And you do that 3 nights in a row, and you dropped $100 on food that you didn't have the money for, and now you have no money. And that's what's happening is people are doing that kind of stuff. And it's about prioritizing what you do.
Exactly.
Plan a little bit. Okay, we got a family now. We can't go to McDonald's every day. That's too expensive. But you know what? All right, we've got a grocery budget. Let's go and that's what you got to. How much are you spending a month on this? How much are you spending a month on this? Can you spend less? Do you have to spend that much? And that's where Ellie can sit down with you and say, let's go line by line here and figure out why you're spending more money than you got coming in.
A sweet lady that I did a loan about 2 months ago or so, and I think I mentioned it on a different show. She told me, "You told me to save Elliot, And I went to Texas, and I usually go shopping and I spend this, and I went and I stopped myself from spending a bunch of money because she was in the process of buying a house.
Sure.
And she told me, I got this much saved. I said, you did? I'm like, awesome. That's very good. Good job. She said, Elliot, it was not that hard. It's like when she told me that, it's like, okay, cool. So at least I'm not talking crazy.
Sure. It's all up here. The hard
it's
part's
up to
in
you.
your head.
Yeah, it's all in your head. And like I said, when I bought my first home back then, I had no idea. I really thought that was actually in many ways. Even my wife and I right now would love to have picked up the house and brought it over here. Because, I remodeled it afterwards and everything, and it made it look beautiful, okay? And we kind of tend to do that to every home that we have lived.
Sure.
So it's up to you what you want to do. You follow my lead. You follow what I tell you, Trust me, I'm not going to be telling you to break any rules. I don't even try to bend any rules either, because when you bend them too much, they end up breaking eventually.
Sure.
Okay? So just follow my lead.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. And I'll promise you'll get a house. Okay.
And you have nothing to worry about. If you do the right thing, you have nothing to worry about.
Exactly. That's the whole point. You know, I talk about all kinds of different things that, some lenders, bending rules, taking, chances that they shouldn't be taking, compromising stuff. You know what? If I tell you, no, you cannot do that, I'm sorry. I don't do that. We don't operate like that here in our office. There's a reason for that, because I want to be here for you 6 months from now.
Sure.
Or a year from now. let's do whatever it takes and break any rules. And sure, hey, you come back, Elliot's not there no more.
Well, and that's where, and I want to get real philosophical here, but when we talk about capitalism and all that, capitalism works, and we're proof of that. But it's at its greatest and works the best, and really is when it's good business, when it's people ethically doing things, and that's where it gets the bad name, is because people figure out loopholes and things, and so I'm telling you this, and this is a lesson that's hard to learn, but once you learn it, you'll find life's a little easier.
Of course,
there's no shortcuts in life. There just isn't. Everyone, if someone's telling you there's a quicker way to get rich, or a quicker way to lose weight, or a quicker way to do, they're lying to you. There is no way. Sure, they can make it look that way, but guess what? Guys like Bernie Madoff went that route, and guess where they're at now? That's where that goes. That's where, even if you have no intention of that, you compromise one moral, then you're willing to compromise another one, and that's
true.
And that's where if you stay above board and know and do that, I guarantee you'll be okay. And okay, you may not be the billionaire quick like Bernie Madoff, but guess what? You're not going to jail a month later, 6 months
and that's
later
true.
either.
I mean, and let me tell you something. When I was younger, I used to love watching all these shows that says, buy this for $29.95, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Let me tell you something, guys.
Yeah.
Nothing against marketing and stuff like that. There's some good products and stuff out there that help people, and you have to apply yourself to do so. But let's be realistic.
Sure.
If I'm a millionaire, why am I going to give it to you for $29.95? Come on. So
I'm going to get mine. Don't you worry.
Exactly. So now a lot of those things work, and you just have to apply yourself to do so.
Sure.
And that's the fact. I remember because I always wanted to get into real estate for some crazy reason. It was like in the back of my head.
Sure.
I got into this program that for buying homes. Tax. When people have tax. Lates and stuff like that, there's homes that people lose because they didn't pay the taxes, which I'm never going to understand that, but hey, to each his own, right?
Right. That's a different debate for
that's
a different day.
That's a different area. And I remember, and it's very obtainable. It's there. But you have to apply yourself. You have to go to those meetings. You have to go to the options. You have to go. So it's not that simple,
You got to remember, no one's going to be a bigger advocate for you than
yourself.
You. Exactly. And if you rely on other people to be that, then you might, I'm not saying you're going to end up bad, but you're opening yourself up for that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing right here with CMG Financial.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in the business of, making dreams come true for people. Okay. Getting you your home. All right. Our company is a great company. Okay. And we try to get better as we go. And hopefully I'll get better as I go as well.
Well, you get the best of both worlds. You got CMG, which is a large private company. It's not publicly traded, which there's advantage to that.
It's
that
an awesome, good thing.
And in the financial world, that means they get to make decisions based on what's best for their customers.
Exactly.
Whereas a publicly traded company, they're answering to stockholders, which means as long as the bottom dollar's raking in the numbers they care about, everybody's happy.
Exactly.
If it benefits you, okay. If it doesn't, okay. It doesn't matter. Where a privately owned company like CMG, they're like, no, we're not publicly traded. We succeed when our clients succeed.
I know.
And so that's the difference. They gotta basically CMG is earning your business. The other companies are earning the stockholders' pensions. Is what they're doing.
I know. We were. I pay attention to some of the videos that our CEO is awesome. He sends videos to us, monthly. I remember when I was at Wells, like our CEO, I knew the name. I didn't even know what he looked like at first.
Sure.
So until they started going to Congress and started answering questions, then I saw him on TV.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a different story as well.
Well, that's just it. They you know what? They come up there and they look like a fool and they know it, but then they leave and they're like, well, I'm laughing. Okay, I got shredded here, but I'm laughing all the way to the bank because I just bilked everybody out of this money and now I'm good to go. So yeah, they got embarrassed on TV, but who's laughing now? They just got away with it. I mean,
it's awesome. Our CEO, he started out of his garage.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
Yeah.
And that's, like we were talking in the beginning of our conversation today. It's America, dreams come true. You make things happen if you put your effort into it.
Absolutely.
Buying a home is just the same. You know, here at CMG Financial, I mean, we really believe to help you, okay? Because it's every customer, every time.
Yeah.
No exceptions, no excuses. We believe that. Now, you have to do what we ask you, you know? And we have talked about a lot of different things about, you know, first-time home buying. The first thing you need to do is to get to talking to me, okay? Even Ted, all right?
Yeah.
And do an application with us, and then we'll put a plan in place, you know, to get you going. And
you should do this before
you start looking at
talk to a
houses.
real estate agent, before you get on your realtor.coms and Zillow.coms and all this out there. Before you do any of that.
Yes, please.
That way you're because and I know that's the fun part. That's the part we all love doing. It's like, ooh, I love that bathroom. I can picture myself in there. You know, that's the fun part of home buying. But it's so much more fun when you're doing it in a area where you know, like, so now you talk to Elliot. Elliot's like, all right, great. We're looking at your situation here. I think based on the payments you want and we're going in and your situation right now, we could comfortably put you in a $200,000 house. Now you know that, and you're like, okay, now I'm going onto the market educated. I'm not looking at just every house on the market going, man, that's nice. I wonder if I can afford it. To like, oh, that one's $500,000. I need to stay away from that one. Here's one at $200,000.
Yeah, it's a big mistake looking at a bunch of houses.
Yeah.
When you don't know what you can afford.
Exactly.
That's a big problem, and it happens constantly. You know. Second, when I get you pre-approved, all right, you know, we give you a list of all the stuff we need. Yes, I'm telling you, yes, you could buy a house for this much.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you still need to give me all the stuff that I need from you.
Well, yeah, the numbers you're giving him are based off the information. You just don't pull them out of thin air.
Yeah, it doesn't come out of, you know.
Bad information goes in, bad information comes out.
Exactly.
That's just science,
you know.
man. That's how it works.
And I know I'm known to be Mr. Harry Potter, you know, but come on, at the same time, you know, it's very difficult.
If you tell him that you have no behind bills and all this, and he's like, yeah, you should be golden, and then he goes and looks, and your credit score's 6, and you haven't paid a bill on time in 100 years, then he's going to be like, well, the numbers I gave you aren't going to be quite right, you know?
Now, for all these folks out there listening, if you have money at home in cash, okay, and you haven't made the move to start looking for a home, put the money in the bank right away, right now. Even if you're not even going to buy a house, but you may be thinking it's in the back of your mind, and you have 5, 10 grand, 15 grand.
Pull it out from under the mattress, where you keep it.
Put it in the bank right now. Don't wait, you know. Everybody's like, but if I put too much money there, you know, the government is gonna, like, you know what? It's money that you've been working for. It's not gonna be a problem, okay? It's misconceptions about the way everything works.
Well, even if you have a chunk of change sitting in a savings account, it's making more money than sitting under the mattress.
Well, you know what? If the house burns, now
and then your money's gone.
It's gone.
At least that money in the savings.
If the wrong person came to your house, the money's gone too.
FDIC insured, so guess what? It's not gone.
Exactly.
If the bank burns down, you still got your money.
A lot of people worry because the banks did this, the bank did that. Oh, they stole money from me before. Guess what? As long as it's in record, you'll get your money back.
Sure.
Don't be afraid of putting your money in the bank. I need you to have the money in the bank. If you have cash on, you know, the worst things that ever happen is that somebody does an application.
Sure.
I get them all pre-approved, and they tell me they have, for example, $10,000 in the bank. You know, like, okay, we're golden. We don't even need to ask the buyer, the buyer for any money, the seller for any money. Blah blah blah. We're perfect. And then I get all the stuff, all the paperwork, bank statements, and they only have a couple grand in the bank. And like, where's the other 8,000?
Sitting in my house.
And like, I got 10,000 at home.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Well, if it's not in something we can see, then it doesn't exist.
And I know, yeah, everybody's like, but why? But why? The point is this: every loan that we do is a federal loan. Okay. And remember, you know, the government is in everything that we deal with, unfortunately. Okay, and just the way it is. But
it's all about transparency.
It's all about transparency. You know, you hear all politicians talking about that. Guess what? When you buy a house, you're a lot more transparent than a lot of these people because you have to truly give me what you have. A lot of people, but why? It's like, okay, I'm going to give you money so you could buy a house.
Sure.
You know?
Well, that's just it. At the end of the day,
you know,
CMG is saying, I'm about to give you $200,000, more money than probably most of us will ever see in our lifetime.
Exactly.
How many of us could say we held a check for 200 grand? Not very many people could say that. So guess what? They're going to want to make sure that they're investing in someone that's going to be good. They are not in the charity business. Now, granted, they will work with you, talk with you. They want to make your dream happen, but they're not a soup kitchen. They ain't going to give you free money. They're going to make sure they're giving it to people that will pay it back, will be good for paying this loan. So because that's good for their business too, and it's good for your business. And at the end of the day, while you're paying that loan, your credit's getting better and better and better, and you're getting more and more command.
Yep.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
In 3 to 6 months, let's say your credit score was 650, 620, something like that, and you were able to still buy a house. Okay, because in most cases that might be the case. 3 months, 6 months, your credit score is going to spice up. Okay, and that's the fact.
Yeah.
Because now you have a mortgage. Like you always say, now you're part of the game.
Sure.
You know, really, truly part of the game.
Absolutely.
You know, and the part that is most important is that you are putting money into yourself. You putting money into your family, giving your family a place to live that is yours.
Sure.
Okay. You know, and I believe that's priceless.
And you're a less risk to other creditors. I mean, and what I mean by that is, I know this sounds funny in this day and age, but if you've got an address, that's your address, it's not a rented, more than likely you're going to be staying put. And so you're less of a flighty person.
Yeah, it's a different risk.
So when someone's looking, even if your credit's like not 800 and they're looking, well, he's got a mortgage, but he's paying his bills relatively, but, you know, he's behind on some credit cards or whatever, so it's dipped a little bit. But, you know, this is not a risk that he's not going to fly on us or she's not going to fly on us
Exactly.
here. And so you actually get a stronger consideration when you have a home. And now if you're bankrupt and defaulting, that's going to be a different story. But but if you're making payments and doing your thing and you need another line of credit or a new phone or whatever that someone else is checking your credit on, that home ownership, even if it is stretching your dollar a little bit, will give you a little bit more standing versus. And that's one of the few that helps. It's like if you have a bunch of credit cards, even if you don't have balances on them, that's not good for your credit score.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Yeah,
You know?
You want some, but not too many.
Exactly.
And but a house is going to be a good thing every time.
And another thing that is very important, this is mainly for first-time home buyers. Stop listening to a lot of your friends that are telling you, well, I did this, I did that. Their situation may be 100% different than yours. Okay, and that's the biggest mistake that I've seen a lot lately. You know, but why can't I do this? My friend did this. You know, it's like maybe your friend, you know, was on a first-time home buying program. Maybe your friend has 800 credit score. You don't know that. Okay, so they may be making an example of what they did, but they're not giving you all the facts.
Absolutely.
You know, any lender you may be working me, any other bank, I don't care who it is. Listen to your lender. Okay, you know, and hopefully you have a good lender that is listening to you and doing what it needs to be done for real.
Absolutely.
But don't listen to people that are not the ones licensed or specialists on this because they went from one experience that yours, it might be different.
Sure.
You know, and I see this all the time. And like I was saying, if I'm asking you for stuff, okay, yes, it's something that you don't deal with every day, but there's simple stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
And let's face it, too, like you're talking about, they got a house, but also, too, well, maybe their family's smaller than yours, and they didn't need a 4-bedroom.
Exactly.
You need a 4-bedroom. Guess what? Generally speaking, 4-bedroom houses are more expensive than a 2-bedroom because it's a bigger house.
There's so many factors that will be determining what they did that you maybe didn't do. I mean, I remember a customer, you know, back when I was at the other company, and they came to my office and they're like, you know, everything good, blah, blah. I was giving them a good thing. They basically were not saying nothing about putting extra more money or anything like that. It was straightforward, simple, you know, minimum down payment. Did their numbers. And the first thing she came and told me, oh, but my friend in Albuquerque did this, and they gave her this, you know. And
that's a different housing market altogether.
That's also
too. It is here.
Oh, I found out in the end that she still never got, because she didn't go with me. So, folks, yeah, sometimes I lose one. Okay? But the thing is this. I tell them I can actually meet their numbers because, you know, I went and play with my, you know, my calculator and all this and that. And I went and find a different program that they qualify for. And I was very close to do the same thing, if not better, because I was not charging them the same amount of money that the other place did. The funniest thing is they were not first-time home buying. The people in Albuquerque were.
And that makes a
huge difference.
And that's another part, too. If you've never bought a home before, there are a lot of first-time home buyer programs and various things. A lot of people think VA and sure.
Exactly.
But if you're a teacher, if you're a law enforcement.
Oh, man. There's so many different things out there.
Different industries.
We have MFA. The state of New Mexico helps you. If you qualify, okay? You have to call me so we can find out what we can do, okay? they'll give you some assistance for the down payment. Okay, I mean, talking about free money. Come on, guys.
Absolutely.
You know, let's be realistic. It's there. It's just you have to move forward and do it. Okay.
And Ellie can put those on your map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so many different programs that I can go on and on. You know, and even for the people that already own a home and they want to buy another home, the state of New Mexico still even helps those.
Absolutely.
Okay? So you'd have to come to me and ask me, this is my situation. This is what I like to try to do. Can we do that? What can we do to do so? You know.
And to be honest, like my wife and I, like but as our marriage together, we've bought and owned 2 homes since we've been together. We've rented 2 also, but since we've been homeowners for the last 15 years or whatever now, the first home, my wife's a teacher. I didn't even touch my my VA stuff.
Okay.
Didn't even touch it. We bought that house and did all that. And then the second time here, we lived in it for 10 years. Then the second time I was like, well, I haven't used my VA stuff yet. So I went in and used. So basically, I used first-time buyer programs twice.
So your loan officer didn't advise you to do your VA at all.
Yeah,
he didn't
exactly.
ask you. Okay?
Yeah.
That's another thing, guys. If you're listening, okay, you need to talk to us, okay, and open up. Okay, look at me like a lawyer, like a doctor, a psychologist. What you tell me, it stays right here. Okay. If I ever use any comments about you or anybody, it's more of a general thing. I will never talk about somebody's information as far as like, yeah, Mike told me this, and that.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, my winters have this much money in the bank. Let me tell you guys. No, but the point is what I'm trying to tell you.
Much, by the way.
the fact that what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to trust the person that is going to help you buy a home.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Heed that advice.
Exactly. Listen, because let me tell you something. My business is to help you get a home. Okay, make your dreams come true to get a home.
Absolutely.
I don't have any other agenda. Okay, I mean I love to help people. That's my agenda personally.
Sure.
Okay, but my agenda is to help you find the house that you want. You know, and we get you in touch with agents that are available if you don't have one. Okay, and let's be realistic. I'm gonna give you the money. The company that I work for is awesome. They're so cool. They want to give you money to buy houses, okay? The point is this. All I need you to do is follow my lead.
Sure.
You know, provide the items that I require from you.
Let me be your guide for this.
Yeah, let me be the guy. You know, I'm there from the beginning to the end. I even go to my closings with you. If I don't go to the closing, it's because...
Go look on his Facebook page. You see his closing pics all the time.
Look me up. You know, and that, guys, this is not everybody, because not everybody they want to put their pictures up. Okay?
Right. But as many as that are willing.
As many as allow me to.
Yeah.
You know, check me out. Go onto my website. See the comments from customers.
Yeah.
What they're saying about CMG. Go and find out about CMG, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I just saw the time. We better wrap this up here. But please go to his website. Go email him here. Call him if you'd rather talk to Elliot live. I'm going to give his cell number because he's in and out of the office.
Yes,
and
we are.
COVID and everything too. So probably better to leave a voicemail on the cell.
Yeah, we're doing everything by appointments right now.
Very good. To get that appointment or get a conversation with Elliot, you can call him at 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. You can also email him, erodriguez@cmgfi.com. Again, that's erodriguez@cmgfi.com. Or you can go to his website, which is the same pretty much, erodriguez.cmgfi.com. Am I right there?
Yeah.
Do I give too many dots?
Without the ad.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing without the ad. Replace the ad with a dot.
Exactly.
And it'll take you where you need to go.
And you get to see, you could go and check out, CMG, what we're all about. Okay, you get to see some testimonials. Okay, these are people that I don't even ask them. You know, they actually do it. I probably have more if I ask, but
you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. I think it's, if they want to do it, do it.
You get the hometown, local that you want when you're making a big decision like this, but you got the backing and power of a large company that can get you rates and things competitive to all the big boys, and that's what you got going on here. So.
My BP from our area tell me Elliot is very passionate about what he does. Was telling somebody is going to be trying to help me to get things done, and he's like, he just had to let go because he tries to control everything.
Yeah.
It's hard, because
is.
you're trying to help these people and you want them to succeed and get a home, and sometimes having an eye on everything is what makes difference, okay?
Sure.
But no, guys, CMG is here to help you be able to accomplish that dream of owning your own home.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for somebody that actually cares, I'm your guy. I'll listen to you.
Absolutely.
If we cannot do it this very second, we'll talk and we'll put a plan in place. And I'll promise you do what I ask you, I'll get you a house.
It's the biggest decision in your life. Let's have a guy in your corner helping you make that decision.
Because I don't have any other agenda but help you buy a home.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
just the reality, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, as always, appreciate the visit. We'll
my pleasure. Thank
see
you for
next
having
time.
me again.
Anytime. All right. Quick break before we go. Don't go away.
Don't miss the amazing concerts at this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, October 4th through the 9th. On October 6th at 7 p.m., it's Colton Dixon. On October 7th, it's Grupo Maldad, Los Consentidos del Norte de Ciudad Juárez, and Los Tremendos León. On Friday, don't miss the Dirty River Boys.
Used to walk down Santa Fe Street, had a quarter in my hand and a fake ID.
Sundance Head.
You're gonna love her, leave her. Wow.
Jody Nix.
Across the alley from the Alamo, when the summer sun starts to settle low.
And Sherry Rowe.
By way of Southwest.
Then on Saturday, Edición de Rancho, Conjunto Bengala, and Los Culpables y su estilo diferente. For a complete list of events at this year's fair, log on to enmsf.com.